Usually you pay for PPV, but this is free and this is real TV. Grab your cup, pour that drink, roll that blunt, and tell us what you think. Commas come pouring in, women be exposing, man. Fellas start to open up, shorties feeling down to fuck. It's a safe place, spill that tea. That cup is hot, don't let it fall on me. And the stage you keep it funky, might speak for she think. Vibe from the BX, don't even try stink. Eva keep us humble, she consider your feels. And Tati got 3 kids, you better pay them bills. Time is money, make sure your clock is right. Sliding in DMs, you make sure your stock is tight. Ladies, they gonna tell you if you ain't rocking right. I'm telling you, dude, don't end up on top of tonight. It ain't all jokes, get serious too. If I can help what happened to me, not happen to you, it makes it worth it. Let's get drunk on purpose. Start telling stories we would never tell in person. It's real TV.
Happy Saturday.
Hi, ladies.
Happy
No.
Saturday.
How are we?
It just wouldn't be a regular show if we did not have technical issues.
You know, every Saturday. That's how it
If
works.
we started on time ever, that would
One
be
day.
a miracle.
It'd be nice.
One of these days.
We
I feel like
probably
something would be wrong if we ever started on time.
We'd be worried.
Right?
Right.
How are we? I know we couldn't do last week. I had some family things going on. But glad to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were a couple weeks. I was off for my birthday weekend, and
How was your birthday?
yeah, it was cool. I mean, that weekend I had an unexpected vet visit. You know, Simba wasn't doing too great, and
What happened to Simba?
he was getting, so they call it feline lower urinary disease. So he had some like weird reactions of peeing in places, and he never has had a problem with doing it in the litter box. And it was like, and then he started like crying out every time he had to use the bathroom, like he was in pain. And I'm like, what's going on to my baby? Found the local vet, took him over. They gave him some meds, and I have to change his diet. And they said it's basically stress related. Blockage that builds up in his bladder that can stop him from being able to pee, and it hurts a lot. And that's what he has, uncontrollable urges, and it doesn't, like, if it was a problem where he would like not be able to do it at all, I'd have to take him to an emergency and have surgery. So I caught it enough in time that
prayers to Simba. Hope
recovering.
Speedy recovery.
I got an appointment on Monday to follow up.
True.
But that was not fun for my birthday weekend.
I know that can be a little scary.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, he should be getting better.
Thank God he's okay. Yes.
Right.
All right. Well, before we get into that, I know we always get straight into talking. We haven't seen each other. But welcome. If it's your first time, welcome to TV. We are on most Saturdays at around 6:30. Talk about everything and anything. If it's your first time, hit that subscribe button, share it, share the live. It's going to be a real interesting topic. We are supposed to be having guests coming in throughout the show today. And love if you comment, ask questions. We're an open book. And we'll get into the topic in a second. But my name's Anastasia.
My name is Eva the Diva.
Oh, and obviously Valerie Mac. Sorry, I was sending the email.
Oh, I appreciate it. So what we like to do too is go grab a drink, sip with us while we spill the tea in the topic. So I know I haven't drank in a really long time, but today I am. So
yes.
I do have a bottle with me and mixing with some juice. So everybody, if you're listening, grab a drink. Oh, you got buzzballs?
Yeah, have y'all had them?
I have.
I don't know what that is, but
buzzballs?
Girl. Cheap and strong.
You could just put
That's all I know.
Yeah.
It's cheap and strong.
Actually move over. One of our guests arrived. So,
Hello.
well, you can introduce yourself. Yeah. Joining us on the topic today.
Yes, this is Day Will.
How are
Hi,
you?
Daywell.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool, cool.
You can hear the
Awesome.
feeling.
Yeah,
First time here.
yes.
Thank you for coming in.
Of course.
Appreciate
Welcome. Hope
Um,
we don't scare you away.
Eh,
it does get
scary
spicy.
stuff, I don't know.
It
Just
does
don't
get,
take anything personal.
yeah, it gets spicy
Yeah.
sometimes.
And
You
don't
know,
get scared.
yeah.
All right, I'll try not to.
No, you should be able to lift it up actually a little higher or move over, but I can move the table over.
This whole
All right,
setup
cool.
got oh, I'm looking down
Yeah,
there.
he's actually changing it. Oh, that reminds me, Eva. So before we get into the topic, quick announcements.
What
Shout
I
out
do.
to Joe Parker
Whoop,
with
whoop.
Reflex Radio. If you haven't downloaded the app, go download the app. He's coming back with his own podcast after mine at night. No offense. That's what it's called. No offense. And if y'all want to stay on tuned in. And then shout out to Pretty. I don't know if y'all seen, but he's gonna be opening up for Fat Joe. So
So
I
proud.
mean, yeah,
Shout out
kudos
to
to him.
Pretty. So proud of him.
Facts. And he
Happy
has
for
his
him.
podcast on Tuesdays, Word in the Street. It's pretty fire if you want to check it out. Listen in on Tuesday nights too. And I just want to give a big shout out to Cortez. He has a new merch out, the the sweater that I got on right now, but the camera's like blanking it out. Filthy Karma already sold out the first lines that he
Nice.
dropped. So he is bringing it back if you want or interested in it, cortezbodega.com. And they're mad comfy. So but those are a couple little things before we get into it. So today's topic is masculine versus feminine.
Okay, okay.
So
Versus
before I
so
explain, what do you think that it might be?
I mean, off the top, I would say men, masculine or feminine, and females if they have that masculine side of them, and or if they have, the femininity in them.
Yes. So talking about women in their feminine energy and women in their masculine energy and what it pertains to when it comes to dating. So we're gonna get into it. And
That's a tough one.
you said it's a tough one?
That's a tough. Yeah.
Why do you think it's tough?
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Yeah.
Well, what's your first thought? I know that you were coming in a little blindly, so
I feel like right now, I know I've shared this right. I'm in my pretty princess era. So I'm
you're feminine.
definitely in my feminine right now.
Mhm.
But I've been in my masculine. And it is very different for me, I could say, I guess, dating wise. So I guess, yeah.
So what's your experience dating wise? She had to take a big shot for that one.
I ended up single a few times, right?
Hey yo, what you saying?
Sorry.
But why?
I don't think
But why?
that's why. And I'm glad, maybe our male audience here can help us out with that. But I feel like not a lot of men are very well in receiving that from a woman when they're in their masculine. Because I know for me, it was more of like if my tire popped, I never even thought of calling anybody. Like I just get out and change it.
Okay.
Like it was just not even a thought of like, oh hey, let me call my boyfriend, or oh hey, let me
But did
call
you have a
AAA.
boyfriend when this happened?
I did. I have a few times, and I didn't even think about it. I just did it. But I was also so used to just being alone that I was just so used to doing everything by myself.
Makes
So
sense.
it's like now I'm like, you know what? No, my tire pops. I'm calling somebody. Somebody's gonna come and change this shit. I'm tired of that.
So after that change, though, did you inform your boyfriend of that? Like, have a complaint or anything towards like, oh, I had to change my tire today and just wasn't happy to do so.
No,
You didn't tell him?
It would just be like, oh yeah, my tire popped. Like I had to change it on the side of the road. I had pulled up to a gas station or whatever it was, and they'd be like, you didn't call me for what? Like
That was your
literally,
response?
I was oblivious to it. I'm like, well, why would I
Hope
call
that
you? Like
was your response.
No, I think that was your response, right?
that was my response.
Jeez.
Like
See,
why would I
that's
call you for
you
it?
know
Like
what
it
I
wasn't a
what
thought.
Ah,
what that means to me is the fact that it wasn't a thought is that either you can't rely on him or he didn't present himself as the person you can call for this. Like there should be like when you have someone that should be the first thought. Like someone I could rely on, someone I could depend on. That's
mhm.
always going to be the first thought when they're that person. If they're not someone who relays that, then that's probably why you didn't look to for him for help.
I feel like when you're in your masculine energy, you overcompensate on everything, whether you have a person or not. And I had a person, I feel like he was responsible, reliable, and all that. My person, though, is just, I have to change this. I got to get to work. Like, why am I going to slow down the process?
I mean, I get I gotta change it because I had to work thing, but it's still more of like I don't know for the men, they have this thing that we're kind of trained with in a sense of protecting and providing and supposed to make sure we're the person you're supposed to call. So we're supposed to come out and fix it or at least find a way to help fix it to get you where you got to go because we feel like you're not supposed to do that. Anything can happen on the side of the road, and if he cares about you and wants you protected, that's part of what his DNA is. Then he would have been trying to find another way for that to happen. For that tire change to happen if he could, without you having to do that.
Yeah.
And
I
then not
think that
saying nothing to him in a certain way or the way you said it was kind of like, well, what am I here for? Like you, you don't need me for nothing. Then, for that matter.
Did you
And
break
it
up
comes to
after
that.
this?
And it comes to that where it's like, I didn't mean to make him feel that way or anybody at that point, but it was just one of those things that's like, I'm so used to just being on the go. Like, you're just an asset to me.
I okay. I don't I think that's also how this person is. Like for me, I'm very much living in my masculine energy lifestyle, but I'm single. I need to take care of shit. I got to do it. But when
Right.
someone presents themselves in my life and like in the past, it's someone I can depend on, someone I can come to, then the switch happens because I shouldn't have to do it. You volunteering to do stuff for me. You want to be that person for me. So there's things I'll ask of you because I know you would want to do it. Then there's men who have been in my life that don't present themselves that way, that they're probably not the best for me in that sense. And in those scenarios, I'm not looking for you to do it. I can't rely on you.
Mhm.
So I feel like that I would respond to how he's giving off that energy, and that's what adjusts my energy. It
So if
really
you
would
did
be.
have someone like that, that means you're gonna wait for him to do it.
I would. I would. Depends on obviously the situation. If it's dire, I'm probably
Mhm.
but I would want him to want to do it. I shouldn't have to ask. Like if I tell you this is what's going on, I want him to say I'm gonna be right there, right?
Mm.
As opposed to me having to ask you. Like if I gotta ask you, then that's a problem for me. Like I should never have to ask you. You know I need the help.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. But so what was the reason then you broke up?
Who?
And I'm
Me?
talking to you, but was this after this incident or
Oh
because you
no,
mentioned
y'all,
that you
y'all,
broke up
y'all
after
know
being
why we
in
broke up.
Oh yeah, that's something completely different.
Oh, okay.
Sips tea.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
over there.
So but right now you're in your feminine and how's that going for
I
you?
am.
There you go, girl.
Now I'm like, I won't open a door. Open the door.
Right? Yes.
But it's one of those things that, like, even that I'm trying to like get used to. But it's, and I've caught myself a couple times where I'm just like, oh, I'll just open the door. I'm like, nope.
So you wait.
I wait
So
because
now
now
are you
I'm
getting
like,
your chair
no.
pulled out now? Your car door opened.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay.
So
They chivalry as well.
But those are behaviors when they start doing it, you get used to it, you like it, you want to feel it makes you feel special. It makes you feel appreciated as a woman that he wants to do those things without you having to ask or say anything.
yeah,
So you would automatically adapt and adjust. You start to acknowledge, oh, you know what? I don't even gotta do that because he's gonna do it. You know, it's just
yes,
the energy is reciproc. It's received when it's being given. If
Hmm.
the male is
I
not giving you that energy, then how are you supposed to respond?
I get that because it's totally true. Because it's like they kind of get you used to it.
Hmm.
But I think back then, because we're talking about a few years ago, um, I think I was still traumatized with my marriage.
Okay.
So it was just one of those things like where I just didn't need a man. I don't want a man. I don't care if I have a man. I don't want to depend on a man. I don't want to be codependent again. I don't want to lose myself again. I want to be
So
me
you
and I'm
have.
going to do it all.
Mm, okay.
So that's where that overcompensation comes in, right? Now it's like I deserve somebody and I deserve to be treated as what I am. I'm
Period.
done overcompensating.
There you
Okay.
go.
It's true.
And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
I
But
get
this
it.
is what I want.
That part. That's it. Your feminine energy looks good on you, Eva.
I don't know. I guess like for as long as I've always pictured you as super feminine anyway. Like it's
Yeah.
you're just a girly one of us.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm in between. But you know.
About to have
What about you, Tashi?
open the door test. You're sitting there. If she open the door, you're supposed to be with her. If she don't, you don't.
Exactly.
Bronx Tale.
Yeah. So
I just
Bronx
look
Tale.
That's
at you
why
dead in the eye like,
You ever seen the Bronx Tale? You guys seen it?
one of my
no.
favorite
Mhm.
movies.
Did I?
Top
Yes.
Oh,
10.
okay.
Come here.
Mhm.
One of my all-time favorite movies.
Cujo.
For sure. Yeah. Um yeah, so now Eva's now the passenger princess.
Yes. What about you, Tashi, though?
I feel like I am in the middle. I'm both. Or I can be both. Honestly, it just depends on what's going on in my life. But I think a part of me always been in some masculine energy because I've always done things on my own, very independent. Growing up faster than I needed to be, it is already instilled in me to just take the lead, so to say.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and then even in relationships, in certain relationships, not that I had a lot of serious ones, only like 3 serious ones. Um, where majority of them is I had to take the lead, right? I was the one paying bills, whatever, taking care of the house, blah blah. And the
Mhm.
last one it was not so much, more 50-50, but I was still independent. But one thing I can say though is I did learn from the last relationship of having to dial back in your masculine energy a little bit because of how men are. Because there was times that in random arguments he would come out and be like, "Bro, like you never let me do anything for you. Like you make me
Mm.
feel like I'm not a man." I'm like, "What does that even mean?" At that time I didn't get it. I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Nah,
Mm,
Like if I
yeah.
can't pick something up, you get it. Like if I, you know what I'm saying? Like what else you want me to do? You want me to not do it and wait for you to do it? And that's basically what it came down to. Of like, why don't you just let me do it? And then I had to really sit back and be like, "Oh, well, maybe."
The problem is, are they doing it? Like
Yeah, like
like if you're
you
not
know,
like
are you
my
saying
thing is
it?
right. You saying that, but and you feel a way, but I don't see you doing it, and
no, yeah.
that's the
I mean,
problem.
in that situation, they would do it. No, anything.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it's because that's already how I am. Like Eva was saying, like that's already me, right? Like I
Right.
take care of the person I'm with, and then on top of that, I'll do other things because I'm just
Mhm.
wired that way already. Um, but I had to really understand, like, okay, sometimes even if you could do it, like just sit back and let him do it because he just wants to feel needed. Okay,
Right.
go ahead.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, so I did learn that
Look at
from,
Val.
but I've
Said,
learned that, like, let a man be a man when he wants to be. And I'm, like, so
I think
My
it's
thing
more.
is, you got to show me you're a man all the time for me to let it happen. I got to see it.
I
It's
mean, that's
very
true. That's very true. But I think it's also with a switch. If you have that switch in you to
Mhm.
where you know when to be the masculine and then you know when to go feminine,
Yeah.
with that man being around you and understanding him, because most men again goes back to how we brought up and how things are perceived to us. So again, the provider, the protector, the go doer, the you do everything and you just stay there and just maintain everything else. You know, if I'm off my game, be my coach and put me back in the game.
Hmm.
Um, I feel that more now than before, people are so honed in on either a get back or a well, I didn't like this, so I'm gonna do more of this thing, which may be taken away from what that man wants to do and provide, or he may say he wants to do and provide, and then now you're stuck in a situation where it's like, well, what am I here for? Like, am I
You're
here
saying
to
that as from the man's perspective.
perspective from the man's perspective?
okay.
But there are going to be times where you have to put your big girl drawers on and be like, listen, I I mentioned this to you. You should have took heed and listened and just took the initiative to go take care of it, but you didn't. So you can't be mad at me when I decided to say, well, I just put my big girl drawers on and I went and did it because you didn't want to
Yeah.
put your big boy drawers on.
Exactly.
But then
Okay.
you got men who still they don't have that switch neither. So you want to
Hmm.
be the
Mm.
guy that has to sit there and be like, nah, I got this. I'll do everything, whatever, whatever. But you get mad when you procrastinate or you don't do it or you say you're going to do it and never get to it. And you don't have
Hmm.
the ability to prioritize your situation, whether it's your relationship or your
Facts.
and that's
Hmm.
a lot of times you get lost in it. It's like almost like with the courting of a woman and the doors open and things. Sometimes in most situations we all tend to stop doing the things that kept us connected.
Hmm.
So
Right.
Hmm.
I got you, this particular chocolate on Thursday just because it's Thursday, then 2 years later I should still be able to get you chocolate on Thursday.
Right.
Bro, talk to the people in the back. Yes.
Right.
But
You don't
it's
Don't
Yeah.
stop
even say it a
doing
little bit
what
louder.
got you me in the first place. They
right.
get
I'm gonna give
comfortable and
the man
forget.
the mic.
And the common I guess phrase or term that people use is like don't introduce me to a vibe that you can't maintain,
That's
right?
what I always be saying.
Mm.
So
Exactly.
it
Fat.
runs
Exactly.
the same way because, for example, I can say that the relationship I've been in, I have never really had someone ask me a simple question, and you'll be like, "What's that simple question? Did you eat today?"
No one
They
has
Like,
have
asked
never
me
asked you that?
just that small thing, and it's never happened. I'm
Oh,
always the one asking,
Wow.
Do you
Beto, I ask that
whatever
all
the
the
case may be?"
time.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? But
Yo,
yeah,
we are so
yeah,
flabbergasted because we all are with those type of women.
Yes.
Like, did you eat today?
Did
Do
you?
you need
But
it?
okay.
Like,
but it'd be the smallest thing. Like me playing sports, being a mentor, a coach, whatever the case may be, is cool. I had a family member on the same team as me, and his family was there all the time in the stands. And I look in the stands, it's like nobody there. So they're cheering me on because they're like, look at this guy. We're gonna have to somebody to help him out. But just to have somebody come there and be like, yeah, go for you or whatever the case may be, all that. What
Right.
boils down to support is what I'm getting at. Support means a lot to everyone, but to the men itself. Like if you support me, then it's a different ballgame because some people are around people just for what they can do for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Right.
There's a
right.
saying that there's like, don't forget me when you make it, whatever it is, sports, art,
Hmm.
music or whatever the case may be. But the moment you don't make it, it's like, well, will you remember me if I don't?
Mm.
So then you're stuck with that battle right there. It's like, damn. So you keep having this cycle. If you have that switch and you can, be attentive to what's going on and actually pay attention, then you'll have a better situation on your hands than not. And like I said, it'd be small things. Somebody's having a bad day, you hold the door open for them and you see them. They
Right.
trying to kill themselves today. You won't know that.
Right.
Now you let that door slam in their face and like, see, I knew my life wasn't worth nothing. And they on jumping off the building or get hit by a car or something like that.
Mm.
Mm.
Those small gestures change people's days, on a
Hmm.
basis. So again, yeah, don't
So is that
introduce
something
my.
men look for in women?
I would say, in my opinion, yes. Definitely the support, definitely the small gestures because it means a lot. We go outside as a man on a daily basis. We got to work, we got to provide, we got to protect, right? We
Hmm.
got to deal with a bunch of different things on a daily basis, whatever it may be in the streets. Um, people face fight you all day long. There's somebody that don't like you because of the way you dress, or the
Mhm.
fact that whatever you do, we all got 24 hours, but what you do with it and what I do is going to always be different. So if I decided to read and better myself, don't get mad at me because I learned something and you decided not to learn something in your 24 hours. You should
Right.
hate me for that. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So it's small things that can turn into big things for no reason. I go to work and I say hi to somebody. The other guy is like, "Why you say hi to this person? That's somebody I talk." Dude, don't nobody know who y'all talk to. Like we just said hello. Like you small things for what reason? And it's just childish. But this is things that go on. You got somebody that might drive a nice car. You get pulled over. Then it's that issue. So it's a constant battle for a man. With that type of situation, there's always something else he has to worry about. And then to come home to nothing, or to come home to someone who's not tentative or supportive, kind of just throws off the day because he's always battling this. Females has a similar thing, but it's just a little bit different. To
Hmm.
where ours is like on a constant basis. Like you just have to be like this because we can't cry. We're not supposed to talk about things. That's where the mental
No.
comes in, and
Hmm.
that's just because that's what society gave us. You guys can't do this. You can only do this. So when we don't have nowhere to go, where do we go? We sit in the
Right.
or we'll distract ourselves, and then we'll get put into places we don't have to be in our heads, and then it's like, but what's wrong with you? You don't want to talk to me. I can't. Because when I talk and open up myself and give you information, it's like I'm weak now. You
So
know,
you feel like men can't be in their feminine energy?
not really. Like I
Mm.
really feel like it's more judgmental than the opposite sex. But like for females who,
Yeah.
okay, you like if a female's more masculine, it's like, all right, you had a bad relationship or you just felt like you had to do it yourself. We don't have
Mhm.
that. We don't have an excuse. We just have to be masculine all the
Be
time.
the man, right?
Mm.
So if you can't be weak, what happens next? You know what I'm saying? Some people, um, talking to my boys, some people cry in the shower because it's water. Some people like rain because no one can see.
Hmm.
So when you are opening up or trying to tap into the feminine side and just letting yourself be open and exposed, you have to do it in private. You can't do it out loud. You can have somebody go on a live stream right now and cry, female cry.
Hmm.
Oh my God, this guy did this, that, and the support is crazy.
Hmm.
Oh, leave him. He ain't shit. There, get it. All this other stuff, and they. But soon let Tyrese. He cried. Oh,
Mm.
Hmm.
shit.
Yeah.
They're still making fun of him.
And making
Facts.
fun of him. Now he's a meme and all. What you crying for? You a man? Be a man about it. Be a man about. We we were
It's fucked up.
about it, but
Nah, it is fucked up.
society's
Facts.
like, all right, fuck your little cries. You're a man. Deal with it. Go make your money. Pay this and go about your business. Female,
Right.
it's like, oh, we got you, girl. Don't worry. Hey, if you need me, hit my line. I got you. This, that, there, and it's and an abundant amount of support. But we
Right.
don't have that, and then that's where we feel like, all right, listen, I got to suffer in silence. So then, when you suffer in silence, you don't get to. You just sometimes you do lose your girlfriend or your wife or whatever the case may be because you're so worried about everything else, and the smallest thing that can change you in your mood doesn't
Mm.
get done. How
Mm.
would you deal with? Yo,
I
listen.
really can't believe nobody asked you if you eat every day.
I mean,
I'm stuck on that still. Like,
But okay, and
I
with
had
that, I have a
Mr. Mill.
question.
I got lazy and have Mr. Mill, but I'm just saying, just those gestures. I've never. I think recently,
Nah, I don't.
like people come to me, and
I don't
that's
know if that's a culture thing, but that's
That's
something
exactly my question.
that for I don't know. Have you ever dated a Spanish woman
yes. I have.
and they've
And they didn't
never
ask
asked if
us
you ate today?
what?
Nah,
They were
serious.
That's
under 20.
crazy to me.
They were under
They
30,
were
huh?
they were under 30.
yeah, under
They
30.
were
They
under
had to
30.
be.
They gave you some hot pockets, huh?
Possibly.
Was you getting fed hot pockets and pizza rolls?
Nah, I
Is that
Because
mean,
what
that's
it
my
was?
if
I'm
I'm talking
sorry.
to somebody, I'm like, I'm always concerned. Did you eat? How you feeling?
Yes. That's like the
Yeah,
first
Did
thing I
you
ask.
get enough
Hey, how you
rest?
doing? Have you eaten today?
Yeah.
right,
yeah.
right.
When I care, food is the first thing you ask
Right.
about.
But then
I'll
you said it
I'll
when
even
you
make you
care.
food, send you food. Like,
Yes.
But then you, like she just said, it's when you care. So then we run the risk of, do we have the person that cares? Because if the
Ooh.
person don't
How long you was with
care,
the Spanish chick?
several months, like 8 months now,
Mhm.
something like that. But then it's like
Interesting.
you can do for, like I said, some people you can do everything for. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Court them the right way, treat them the right way, and then they still do the opposite. I dated someone who was like 10 years older than me at the time, and she was physically, mentally, emotionally abused.
Hmm.
I introduced her to something different, and she still went back to the abuse.
Mm.
Mm.
However, I just knew I couldn't compete because of their time and the abuse and the hold
At that
that
point,
he had.
that's what is it called?
Cycle.
No, there's another word. Oh, a trauma bond.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I started to figure and learn, because I'm like, why is this person, no matter what, shown? I never had this. This never was done for me, and I don't know how to, to take this. I just
Yeah.
let it happen and just adapt to it. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, that was great, but by the way, I'm back over here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so did I do something wrong? For a while, I was like, those are the questions. Like, damn,
No, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. She wasn't ready.
Yeah.
and
Facts.
She wasn't healed. She
right,
wasn't ready.
and
You
that's
could have been the best person in the life. She would have still questioned you because
right,
of how
Mhm.
great you were. Because she wasn't ready.
and that's what I've learned over the time. Like, don't get me wrong, I've fucked up a lot. That's part of growing, but the
It
fact
is.
that I accept it and admit to anything and stand on it. I'm the type of person, no matter what the situation is, I really don't care what it is. You can sit there and be like, you call me a bitch. I'm like, "Hey, yes, but this, and this is the reason why." So you're not gonna get one side of the story or that side of the story. You're gonna get
He said,
the
I have a
entire story.
reason for it.
Right. So now, I mean, I could be wrong or I could be right, but at least you'll get both sides of the story in one. You're not gonna get part of this so I can try to look good or try to make the other person.
Right.
I want you to have both parts of it, to where whatever you take from that, you take from that. But at least I said my piece with the truth with it. Because sometimes
Mhm.
one of the things people lack is accountability.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So when you don't,
It's a big one.
want to be accountable for nothing, you start pushing it off on anything else.
So, have you dated a woman in her masculine energy, and how
I
did that work out?
I have, and
It's the
it's
smile for me.
Right. That
Right.
went
That
quick.
changed.
He said, I
Because
have.
I just saw the
have,
thought bubble
He
pop
said,
up.
Right?
yeah,
I
I
have. It
have.
was just, for me, she didn't have the switch, from in my opinion.
Mm.
Right? So it was just like you constantly just wanted to be the dude, and I'm like, I had a conversation like, you don't have to do that no more. You may have had to do that before, but you have a partner now. You have someone that wants to and is willing to, and showing you that part, you don't do it by yourself no more. You don't do that. You're not gonna sit here and try to take all the
That's
groceries.
hard to accept, honestly.
And it seemed like
Sometimes it
that.
is. Yeah.
So it was like, all right, I'm the type of person, I don't like to make multiple trips to the car for the groceries. I'm trying to grab everything. Then
Mhm.
she's like, I got it, and grab all the big fingers, and I'm like, you don't have to.
I'm definitely one of those.
I'm like, you grabbed the case of 24. That's water. You got two of them. Now you up.
I
No,
mean,
I'm
I've
not that.
gotten I've
Yeah, I
gotten to the
got it.
point where I've gotten the broomstick, taken off the head, put all the bags in there,
Put
and just
all the
carry the
bags?
damn pole.
Right. I mean, like, I feel like there's a time and
Think
place
smarter,
for it,
not harder.
but it's
Right.
just those were small things, right? Then it's
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm going out. We'll go out. Let's go out. Let's do something. I pick a place and everything. So any other time, it's like, oh, I don't know. So I'm like, all right, I set everything up. We go out, pay the bill, whatever. Why'd you do this? And I wouldn't have did that. And I should have paid this. And I'm gonna pay that. Calm down.
So she was complaining about you paying the bill,
Paying the bill and just, I guess,
Please and thank you.
right?
Right.
Like, thank
What?
you.
but it was that. It was leading. It was like, well, why I gotta be this way? Why we gotta go this way? I'm like, because you don't have to do these things no more. You don't have to start saying, like, I don't. I'm going to go this way because I always had to pick this place and not that place, or I wanted to do this and not that because
So she
I
was
just had to do it.
controlling.
In a sense, but it was more. It was,
But you know what? That's all
but
she
it was
needed.
like
Yeah.
the aggression to it too. And I'm like, do you want me to be like the female in the relationship? Am I supposed to put the dress on? Cause I don't understand. And then that, and then it's fighting. Like I don't choose to fight. I'd rather not because
Mhm.
I grew up in an era when you fought, you lost, and you went home and dust yourself off, and either you fought again or that was it. Now you're in a
Hmm.
situation where you be lucky to make it home after a fight,
Right.
This
whether
is true.
you in it and you're just got knocked out, or if you knocking somebody else out. It sucks that way. But it's like, oh yeah, and I'm gonna do this and that, and I don't like the way this one was done. I said, calm down. Like you don't have to be so aggressive because the waitress or the waiter didn't bring this or bring that. I just felt like I'm like I can't take you
Mm.
out. Like what are we doing here? It's always something aggressive. Oh,
I'm taking you through the drive-through.
Right?
You want to go on a trip? We gonna go
Right?
through the
I'm
drive-through.
telling you. I'm like, listen, you might have to take a trip in your favorite rocket ship by yourself because
If
you
you behave, we going to Sonic.
know what I'm saying? They
Don't
give you
come to
little
us.
colorful rings and stuff. Look, you get a drink too.
So she was really the only one like that was really masculine for
That
you?
I felt like yes, because it was a constant battle on when should I tone down and when should I turn it up, and I'm like
Mm.
I had to try to punctuate my switch and realize that she doesn't have one. She is
Straight masculine.
just raw, and I'm like, who hurt you, and why
Mm.
haven't you
Yeah.
still spoke to somebody? Because that's crazy
Mm.
for you to be on 10 24/7 365.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just too much, and that's a turn off. It's like no, it's
And
like
I'm not gonna lie, that's where my question was coming from. But Val got to the point first. Do you guys think that's a cultural thing with us? Because like as Latinas, you're kind of used to handling
Right.
everything for everybody, even
Yeah.
before yourself. Everybody has to eat before yourself. The
Yep.
house has to be done. Everything has to be done. Everybody has to be taken care of. Like you're
I don't
nowhere
think
in sight
it's
until the
so.
end.
I think for Spanish culture, it's a little bit different. However, I think for women, minorities, period, it's always we got a lot on our plate and a lot to do and then taking care of ourselves. Single moms go through it.
Mhm.
Like you don't have a whole lot of people you can depend on. And it's hard to turn that off when you've
Exactly.
never experienced it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. My friend laughed at me because I came out here when I make the big move, and I didn't even have internet, so I was using her, Wi-Fi. So I was at her house, and her cousins were home that day, and they were grilling or whatnot. They were cooking, and they came up with a plate. Like I cried.
For real? I
I
mean,
was like,
I'm not surprised you cried because
Yeah.
but, but my
Yeah.
thing was like, I texted her. I was like, oh my god, like they're so nice. She's like, they just gave you a plate of food. I was like, but nobody's done that for me.
mm,
Like that was like the nicest thing for me. And to her it was like, bro, that's just so normal.
Mm.
And I'm over here like, but can you thank them though? Like I thank them. I really appreciate him. Like I can go wash the dishes if they want.
aw,
Like it was one of those things. So it is different when you first receive that.
mm-hmm.
It hits you
Mm.
different.
You just got to be
Oh.
open to taking it in, though.
Yeah.
right because
Yeah.
I mean I agree there is a big difference, especially single moms and just in general. A lot of women do bear brunt work of housekeeping and children and oh I have to do this, I have to do that, and this has to be this way.
Hmm.
The shirt has to be that way. It got to be ironed. Food got to be hot. I get all of that. I just feel like the men that learned that to never just to be an asset in that way or an additional um
Burden?
take a burden is better. Yes. So
Yeah.
an additional burden, you should be more attuned to trying to help and lessen some of that load of that woman.
I have a question.
It'll go into for you as well though. You know what I'm saying? Like what she's
Mm-hmm.
doing, and it's the stress you relieve from just taking the bags or I am my own shirt. Like certain things you can do yourself. Like it's a nice gesture. Yeah, okay, I appreciate it, but you got enough on your plate. Let me do this. If she just came in for working, the kids is freaking doing
Yes.
backflips off the wall. Don't wait for her to say stop doing backflips. Put their asses in the room and say y'all gonna start doing backflips while your mom gives a minute to relax or whatever the case may be.
I have a question. Do you think in today's society there are less, not saying feminine men, but just men aren't as masculine, don't provide, don't do things, and they may not be in their feminine world because they still act masculine, but they don't do actual man expectations.
She's
I,
trying to
I
word
think
it
it's
in the
I'm
right
trying to
way.
She's
word it in
being
a way.
cautious with her words. Good job, though.
Say,
Basically, like men
dang
be
I
shit.
having
was
No, let me
like,
stop.
shoot it straight. Let's go for it. Fuck it. Shoot it
men
straight.
don't
No,
boost their big dick energy. That's what she's trying to say. So
I
yeah. The
feel,
thing is, like, it's nice to say men are supposed to provide, men are supposed to be able to protect her, but you have so many men in today's world. Well,
They
boys.
want
Let me
the
say
pretty
this:
prince.
there's a lot of boys in today's world that they're not what they used to be.
yeah,
There's a generational gap of ancient
that part.
boys that it forces women to have to do more. It forces us. I promise you, if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't do it, and that would be so helpful. But you have
Yes.
See
to,
the day.
and they don't step up to the plate. They get comfortable. They don't want to have to do anything. Like, I don't want to be the breadwinner. I don't want to have to do more, and I just shouldn't have to teach you everything. Like,
Facts.
where were your parents? And they didn't. They don't have the things that they should have as a man. And I think that's one of
Tired.
the
I'm
things.
tired of working.
They're quick to Men are quick to blame women and how we're not what we used to be, but it's a cause and effect there. And if y'all not gonna do it, who you think is? It's not gonna happen by itself. So I think there's a big generational gap from some point in the 50s, 60s up until the 2000s where there they we lost the way, and I can't blame it all on
And
social
then
media because
men
that
be
didn't
mad
come.
that women are more in their masculine energy.
Yeah, and how is that problem fixed? How do we get men to step up
so,
more?
That was an extended question. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like
Okay.
I truly feel like they those men they did get lost, and they got lost because there was a lot of cause and effect to where people wasn't holding them accountable, right? So you didn't have to. There's a gap now where most of these men don't have to do nothing, right? In every sense of not do nothing. I
Don't
mean,
have what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
most
You
men
can
now,
turn the mic inside to you.
the
Yeah.
most men now, right, are in a situation where a lot of the times they didn't have to do nothing.
Mm,
They were sheltered, right? And then they didn't have nobody leading them because they're people that they can choose to learn from chose a different path. So they would see this person
it's their
treat
mama's fault.
their
I knew it.
mom or their auntie or their sister one way and then see another way and see what's accepted. So as long as you accepted something, that
It makes their behavior okay.
person continue to do what you allow them to do. Any person
Hmm.
will always do
But
what
you allow them.
allow them to do, and they will continue to do it until you don't allow them to do so. So they lose the accountability. They've been coddled for so long with, oh, don't worry, I'll do this and I'll take care of this and I'll just you just do this. And we start to say, okay, well, I want you to do this way, and then we don't give an example on why you should do it that way. So then now it's like, oh, well, what you bring to the table? I bring this. Well, what do you bring to the table? So then now you have all these different aspects that they're trying to create, and they still lose the point of it all. The point of it all is if you really trying to find someone to match you and build something and build an empire, then you could do things like, prime example, you can make a list of the person you want, the perfect male or the perfect female, right?
Mhm.
And you make that whole list, and it's something I heard before as well. And then you would have to look at that list and be everything on that list that you want, because in the short term of it, you want all these things, but are you willing to do the work to be all those things for yourself as well?
Right.
Because then you're
Right.
neglecting yourself too, right? A lot of
Self-reflection,
times,
self-awareness is better word. That's a big thing that I
right.
think a lot of people lack is that
Mhm.
you can't sit here and tell me you want someone who doesn't have kids, who doesn't have this, and you got three different baby daddies, or you know what I mean, or
Girl,
vice
I wish
versa,
a man would.
right?
Mhm.
I wish
I
a
mean,
man.
it's all over on
It
everything. It's on like any dating site or anything, just anywhere. It's like, oh, I don't want a man with kid, but yet you have two, or you have,
yeah,
or you have one, but you don't want him to have none. But then you complain that he can't relate to you being a parent. So now you don't have
right.
time right away to give to him, and now he's like, oh, I don't never see you. Well, I'm a
That goes
single
both
parent,
ways though.
you know. So
Yeah,
you can't be like, well, I want time with you, but you telling him you can't have no kids. So how is he supposed to help you if y'all decide to be together if he doesn't have no experience or doesn't learn how to help or when to help?
I would
A
appreciate
lot
if
of
we left
times
the people with no kids to people with no kids.
that part.
Fact. Can y'all save them for me? Like,
Please.
I mean, and as a person who has kids, I don't think I've come around. I mean, maybe one person of who had kids, but other than that, I've always had guys with no kids.
Yeah, a
you,
So
lot of
that's been
guys
an
look
issue.
for that.
They do,
where
but
you
the
find
other
them at,
side,
Eva?
you start
No.
to miss that,
Right, that
a
part.
lot of people don't have
I
those uncomfortable conversations. And
Hmm.
those uncomfortable conversations are gonna have a range, right?
Yeah.
don't know.
So the range is like, we'll start with the kids thing. That was the last thing we just said. So do you want kids or you don't? All right.
Yeah.
So now
These are the
you have
conversations I'm having off rip. I need
right.
to know.
But
Right.
what happens, some people don't have those uncomfortable conversations. And then now you
They
get down
don't.
the line and it's like, oh, but I didn't know you really wanted to do this, or I didn't know that you like this type of
Right.
genre of music or whatever, because you don't really speak on it. Most people
Talk
just
about it.
okay, I like you, you're cute, or I like you, you're handsome, you're pretty,
Yeah,
you
what's
this
on
and
the
that, and your body
surface?
looks like this in the surface, but you never have a time to sit down
Facts.
and really pick someone
Know that person.
and really get to know the person to where you looked at things like Nipsey and um,
Lauren.
Lauren, and then they had this little questionnaire, and it was like, do you really know the person? And then you looked at it, they really knew each other to where people was like, oh my god, I wish somebody would do that with me. I didn't have that uncomfortable conversation because it's gonna the
Y'all ain't
uncomfortable
ready.
Mhm.
right, you're not ready. In the uncomfortable conversation, you're not going to agree to everything. You're going to bump
Hmm.
heads. You're going to be upset. You're going to say some things, but get that uncomfortable conversation out the way, because then now it'll teach you how to handle the regular conversation. It'll teach you how to handle
Yeah.
yourself in those situations, because sometimes people get mad at their significant other and then go outside. And when you go outside,
Mm.
you're not going outside to just blow some steam. You're going outside and then you see someone, oh, hey, girl, or hey, dude, and this, that, and the third.
Hmm.
You got to be able to be angry at your lady or be angry at your dude. Go your own way for the time being to calm down and come back without going to see somebody else for
Facts.
whatever.
Still
Right.
respect them without their
Right.
presence.
Because you're mad, you're
Right.
mad. You'd be a fool if you think you're getting in a relationship, you ain't never going to argue or you're never going to.
Argue, yeah.
I tell people from the jump, listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth right from rip. I can't promise you I won't hurt you. Somehow I will. Not intentionally, not on purpose, but there's gonna be a moment where I don't get something right that you wanted, or I didn't hear, or I didn't do it that way, or I didn't do it right away, or whatever the case may be. It's small, but it is what it is. People quick to be like, girl, I ain't never gonna lie to you, or do shorty, honey, I will never lie to you neither. You will lie. You will hurt. You can't say you won't, because you don't
Yeah,
know the
I
situation.
know.
You're late.
Right.
Or I'm late because, and it's a little white lie, but you're late, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. It happens. Life happens. But when you, again, accountability, and when you're able to stand on it and take it for what it's worth and explain that, you're better off. Just telling
Yeah.
somebody you never hurt them is going to be a lie. And that's why I would tell the person from straight, listen, I can't tell you I'll never hurt you. I will promise you that I will give a perfect effort on not to hurt you,
Hmm.
but I will hurt you somehow. And it, to
That's
me, it may not be something big. It might be, that shit was weak. But to you, it was important to you at
right.
that time. So you hurt that it wasn't accomplished or it wasn't completed in any fashion. So I hurt you. I apologize. But people don't even want to do that no more. Nobody wants to say I
Bro, that part.
apologize
I'm
and
sorry.
like, look,
Facts.
I'm legit sorry. I truly apologize. Like, I'm listening. And then the other side
I'm
to
sorry you feel that way. No, that's my.
I hate
Well,
that
that's a you
response.
Val,
problem.
right, but then
Valza,
they
I'm
try to
sorry
ping
Yo.
you
pong
don't
it and
know how
throw
to
it back to you.
understand.
And
Listen,
then
I
that's
meant what I said.
right. That's when you run into a situation of people don't listen to understand; they listen to respond.
Right.
Yep.
You will never
Hmm.
have a conversation. You can have a conversation. It won't, because the moment you realize that you are sitting there just going back and forth, instead of storing it or making key points and holding on to it, like, you know what, cool,
Hold
Hey.
I
on.
heard you, I
Hey
got you,
Hugo,
and
we got a
then
Hey,
let's
comment. One
Hugo.
flip and
second.
roll.
Sorry, 1 second. What is that?
Anyone who thinks that someone will never ever hurt them intentionally or not is wearing Barbie pink rose colored glasses. And Hugo says, "Hello, ladies and guests."
Leave my
Hey, Miss
glasses out of
Hugo.
this, Hugo.
And like, yeah, yeah.
No.
No,
That's
you guys are right though. It's
Yeah.
definitely, but the thing is just having realistic expectations. One thing I always tell people all the time, you have to understand people don't think the way you think. So
Right.
And
your
you have to
expectations.
understand
Mhm.
their thinking too, though. Like you
Right.
have to understand how the person I'm dating, what is their mindset? How would they look at this situation? But a lot of people don't take the time out to do that.
To even care.
Yeah.
Mm.
To even care on knowing what the other person would like or what would make them feel comfortable, uncomfortable, what they like, what they don't like, because it's all about you.
Yeah.
Because we're still stuck on, hey, what's your favorite color?
I'm tired of people asking me what my favorite color
No,
is.
I don't even want to
I'm gonna
hear
just
that.
put it on
But
and like,
that's
look,
but the point of me saying that is that's how far that their mind goes. It's just
goes.
what's your favorite color, and then that's it.
What do
Well,
you like?
you might catch a
I left them people on
what type
red.
of flower do you like? You might catch
You know what
that, but
I'm learning
nobody
though?
really sits there and wants to have an adult
Hey,
conversation.
actually, that what type of flower? I haven't had that asked.
He hasn't asked. Nobody asked him if he ate. Nobody asked you what kind
Nobody's
of
asked
flower
me
you
what
like.
type of flower I like. What the fuck?
It's important.
So I had
The color you-
my ex-boyfriend, one of the things, first of all, I was never really a flower girl,
Mhm.
but only because I never received it, right?
Mm,
Like my
Right.
ex with the one with my long-term ex, he was not a flower giver, he was not a real gift giver. It was just different times back then. But the other relationship after that, years later, he was very much a flower giver, just because situation. And I saw this, and I know you're gonna like it, kind of thing. Very
mm,
much a giver in that sense, where I learned to be a flower appreciator, kind of thing. And
Mhm.
it was always something different. Like I used to have my hair purple, and one of the first times that we hung out, he brought purple roses, and it was cute. And I thought, oh my god, no one's ever done that for me. That's so nice.
Exactly.
So you
Exactly.
appreciate those little things, those
I
thoughtful
like
things, those
flowers.
things that matter, right?
Tasha,
And so,
I like
I don't
flowers.
get those.
oh,
No, but here's the thing. It's kind of like what Val's saying is, if I ever had them, it was like, but behind it, right? And so it's like now that I'm getting it, I'm like, oh, like that's so cute.
yeah,
But now I get to appreciate it and not just overthink it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what you do? Why are you giving me flowers? What does
Right.
this mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Now
instead
it's
of
coming
that,
from a
I'm just
genuine place.
accepting it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them, I'm liking them, admiring them, and I'm just like, thank you.
As you
It
should
was
do.
dope.
Yeah.
You know?
So Val, then you would say he brought out your feminine energy.
yeah.
Those
That
purple
one did.
flowers.
That one did. I was shut down completely because I was totally running the previous relationship where a lot was on my shoulders. I held everything down,
Mm-hmm.
and I supported but the thing is, I never left my feminine energy in that relationship, because I still supported. I still took care of the household. That I still made sure he was taken care of. He ate. I
You
still did what I needed to
overcompensated.
do. I had to do double the load. So when afterwards I went through a long period. I was single for about 3 years after, until I learned, because I lost myself in that. And then
Right.
when I learned what I wanted, who I wanted to be, and the type of person that I wanted to be with, I was not willing to settle for anything. I used to cut people off in 2 seconds. It was like,
That part.
yep, you're exactly what I don't want.
Done.
And then it took one person I wasn't even looking, that just took the time to show just a gesture, just nice stuff.
Yeah.
I mentioned I was sick and I got a care package delivered, right?
Mhm.
I said I'd never been somewhere, and all of a sudden I was like, let's go. And it was just paying attention to little things that mattered.
Conversations.
Yeah. And
Regular conversations.
it starts to switch. I mean, there's
Yeah.
still parts of me that I'm very much, I don't know how to ask for help. I never have known how to ask for
Yeah.
help. So my biggest thing is, I should never have to ask. If you want to do it, you're gonna have you do it. I shouldn't have to ask you ever, because if you care to know, you know what I like, you know what the type of person I am, and you took the time to get to know me.
Mhm.
That you never need to ask me, because I'm really an open book. I'm so fucking blunt and honest.
Right.
You just got to take the time to hear it.
This is true.
Yeah.
That
That's
part.
when you run into someone who's tentative and not, right? So when that person's tentative, they're gonna pick that up.
Hmm.
Some people can't. Some people have to learn how to do that as well. Communication is key. It's like an old saying, but it's very important. I remember in my past relationship, this particular person never been nowhere.
Mm.
I because I'm
Outside of the
out
state.
of the out of the tri-state area.
Mm.
So I'm like, all right, I actually had a guy's trip booked already. Late birthday gift or whatever. I opted to say, you know what, this person hasn't been nowhere, so I'll take you out somewhere. So it ended up being in like Vegas or whatever. So you spend your birthday in Vegas. And it was not that you cared to be in Vegas, it was just that you haven't been nowhere. So I took it
Mhm.
upon myself to do something about that. You haven't celebrated your birthday in a long time. So this particular time, your birthday was on Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you had something to do. It was
Mm.
Friday, me and you. Saturday, me, you, and your family and your friends or your kids or whatever. Sunday, another me and you, and probably two or three most important friends in your life or your family member. And we'll go and do something. So I took the time to listen and picked up on these things, and I just started to do things. So Friday was like a movie and a small gift. Saturday was the pool and friends and family and another gift. And then the big gift or the necklace that had the birthstone and things of that nature
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
was on the last day. But that Sunday, you also had your best friend
Mm.
and your sister and then your brother. So and then they brought their significant others. So you had like a small intimate situation where you was comfortable, protected, loved, and it was all about you. So to plan it, to get people there, and so on and so forth, to make sure I get the right time. I'm the type of person I tell you I don't like to drive in the city. People are just weird. But for me to drive to the city and that means something, I'm like, see, I took myself out of my comfort zone to show you how to be.
They
Right.
It was appreciated.
that sound a
I,
little
I I
sus.
feel I feel like it was appreciated. I just feel like the Sunday was like, all right, cool, and then it was like, yeah, me and my friends out, and I'm like, hi, you're not just with your friends, like,
Oh, so she was just out.
Uh,
hello. It was a
you were
posting,
there.
and I'm just like, so
Oh, she imposed you.
right, not so much me, just
No,
me
that's
and my
what you
friends
low
did
key
this.
said though.
You know what I'm
Like
saying? And I was just
No,
like,
that's
so
us.
you
that's
and
a
your
little
Hold
sus.
on.
friend,
Now let me answer this question real quick. Since you've never asked for help, Val, if someone did ask, would you let them help? So, I'm not a fan of someone saying, "Hey, do you want me to help you?"
Just
I'm
do
gonna be
it.
Nah,
like, "No,
you
I
just
got
gotta
it."
do it for her, bro.
I'm one of those, "No, I got it," as opposed to, "I'm coming to do this." Oh, okay. So the energy is a little bit
Yep.
different in that sense. Like it's I don't need you to ask me. You see me doing this, just come and do it, come kind of thing.
Mhm.
And that's kind of where, yes, I can accept it if you're just doing it, as opposed to, hey, do you want me to come do this for you? No, it's you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to ask me. If you want to do it, just do it.
Mhm.
That's kind of where I struggle. Like I don't like being asked if you're gonna do something. Just it's like yeah, it's
And I
tough for
agree
me.
with what Hugo just said too. He's like, it's hard for me to ask for help as it is for something else. Let me see.
Yeah,
From
accepting
accepting
help for me
help.
is hard as asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's more about for me. It's not about accepting because I can accept the help. I just don't like when it's asked.
Just do it.
Because it's more like you're just doing it just to say that. I don't. If you gotta ask me, then don't bother.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you should know me well enough. Otherwise, I don't want you to do it at all.
so would you like?
Agreed.
I agree with that. Would you like? All right. So for whatever reason, you're putting up a cabinet. I don't know why you'd be putting up a cabinet, but you're putting up a cabinet, and
Mhm.
that person just be like, "All right, move, go sit down or something, or go do something else," and he'll start fixing it. Even though
I'll be
you
like,
started
oh,
for whatever
okay.
reason, are you
That's a
really just
panty
gonna
dropper. Yes, sir. Go
step
ahead.
aside, or are you
So
gonna?
the response initially,
Yeah, I kind of want it
like
like,
if he came and said, "Do you want me to help you?" I'd be like, "No, I got it."
right,
But
of
if
course.
he just said, "Hold on, move me out the way," and just
Move
started doing
aside.
it,
Go sit down.
How when?
I'd be like, "Oh, okay,"
Okay.
and I'd walk away and let him do it.
Yep.
Yes.
Because some people, because they have the hard time accepting the help, or not so much asking, but when someone actually does it, then it's kind of like, yeah, but no, I still got it though, and it's
No,
like,
come and be the man. Just come and be the
if
man.
he's trying to help, just like move.
Right.
Some stand there, but no, but I
Mhm.
think I can do it this way, and then it's kind of like, but didn't you just?
I don't mind doing it together. I'm a Bob the Builder amongst my friends. Like my homegirls always ask me to do something for them. Like, or I'll offer. It's not even. She's like, "Oh, I want to do this. All right, let's go do it." Like I'm because that's what I do. That's the type of energy that I want. So my homegirl
Right.
wanted. I was talking about. I had put something small like film on my windows to cover them up because I didn't like the curtains. I wanted something to block it, right? And my friend was like, "Oh, these are nice. Where'd you buy these?" And I show her, and she's like, "Oh, I like these. I think I might do them." I was like, "All right, let's do it. I'll come over and do it." And I did them for her. She had bought a bar, and it was sitting in its box. And I came through, and I'm like, "What is this?" She's like, "Oh, that's been there for a minute." I'm like, "Why you haven't done it?" She's like, "I will." I'm like, "All right, open it up. Let's do it now." And I did it for her. Like it's just naturally
She
something
roped
that.
you into
Within your nature.
Say that again.
she roped you into that to doing it. She knew you was
Oh,
gonna be like it.
probably she knew, probably not. And then it came a point where it was like my homegirls know that I'm probably the one dependable in that sense. That I actually enjoy doing that stuff. It's something that it's been instilled in me from young. Like my parents made sure you're never gonna need somebody to do it, but you're gonna know the difference when someone wants to do it.
Same.
So
That part.
in that sense, I'm gonna always be able to take care of what I got to take care of. But when someone
Hmm.
steps in and says, "I want to do this for you," it means so much more. As
Yeah.
opposed to, "Do you want me to do it for you?" And that
Can I
just
help?
like,
Right.
uh,
I mean, I kind
no,
of like
I don't know.
I
Can you?
teach my nieces and my sisters, and I say the same thing. And then I see some people like write something like, "Oh, I just can't wait. I got to do this and that. I need a man." And it could be random, and I'll chime in. I'm like, "Listen, please understand. You don't never need a man. You want one,
Hmm.
and you
hmm
understand that the more you dive into what that is at face value is, you don't need a man. You can very well do pretty much anything you want to do for yourself. However,
hmm
there's nothing wrong with wanting a man and then allowing that man to do those things. But don't
right,
go out there and just like, oh, woe is me, I need a man, because you don't.
yeah, nah, that don't
But
work.
Right.
that's what I try
I
to
think
teach
there's
them.
like a fine line though,
hmm
because I do feel like as a woman though, at the end of the day, because think about it in general, if we're like, oh, in a relationship, like, and we're saying, oh, we don't need a man, we don't need a man, we do need a man, because then who the hell are we going to be in a relationship with?
Yeah, in that
Have
sense,
we
yeah.
come
Want
to
In
this?
that
want
sense,
and
you're
need
very,
are two
you're,
different things.
Want, baby girl, I want freaking everything, but do I need that?
Right.
No.
That's what I
And it
said.
comes to this because I know right now I have somebody, right, that is starting to date somebody, and this guy literally just comes over and she's like, bro, like, this guy just comes over and starts washing my dishes, starts cleaning my kitchen, starts sweeping the floor, starts doing that. Should make me cry.
I
Period.
And
want
I'm gonna
it.
tell you
I want
because
it.
exactly, because
Where
I'm
can you
like,
find him at?
do you
Where are they
understand
at those?
that this man
Is it
sees
at
the heavy
Target?
load on you every fucking day, and the best that he can do to release that, to make you feel a
Bro,
little
it'd
bit
be those
better,
little things right
is
there.
take that load off, take do whatever he can in his power to make you just relax.
I mean, that's key.
That's beautiful.
It,
Damn.
it it's
Exactly.
that's key because it's also what his parents or even his mother has instilled in him from
Mm.
a child, right? So when I said men are, oh, stop crying, be a man, we're getting our asses beat with a belt, and you're telling us not cry and be a man about it, but yet then you want us to tell you, well, what's wrong? Why are you crying today? I can't tell you. You just beat it out of me. But then you have the other side of your like your grandmother or your great aunt or your great grandmother or your mother herself or your aunts, they sit down and be like, listen, this is how you should talk to a woman. This is how you should treat a woman, and so on and so forth. Me growing up, I was told both sides, man, don't cry, and you better go and do this. And then I also had conversations where it's like, you know what? If someone makes you a meal, the least you can do is clean the dishes. If someone's gonna go
hmm
get you, at least you can bring the groceries. You want somebody to cook for you, go bring the groceries. You want somebody to do this, you have to bring the things to be done because there's a saying like not word for word, but a woman will always multiply what you give them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So if I'm gonna give you the groceries, you're gonna multiply that by giving
a
me
meal.
a whole meal that I probably wouldn't have made, right? So
Mhm.
in that sense, if you pay attention to that and you learn, there's nothing wrong with cleaning up after. I don't like how someone you want somebody to make a meal, right? But you got the sink filthy.
I ain't
What
cooking with no dirty
makes
kitchen.
right? But what makes you think she's gonna want to come clean the dishes, cook for you, and then clean the dishes again? Bro, you gotta get off your ass and do something. So those things from when I was growing up, I was shown that like, listen, you got to clean up after yourself, and there's nothing wrong with going to clean the dishes before or after or during, whatever the case may be. But it's not a only you do it thing. It's a partnership
Mm-hmm.
do these things, and that's
Right.
where a lot of times, because some people are so used to not having to do these things or not being shown how to do these things that they don't do them. So when it do come around, it's like, wow, that's
Yeah,
so then you guys
he
get
was
that. And it's
shocked.
like,
I don't have that, but you know.
like, wow, what was this? I washed dishes at my friends for Thanksgiving, and they all laughed at me. I was like, "What are you washing dishes for?" I said, "What am I supposed to? Yeah, I made me a
I
plate
just
to
ate.
wash the dish." They
Thank
was
Mhm.
Yeah.
like,
you.
"Oh,
Hmm.
he's over here washing dishes." And don't make this a bad thing. I don't understand why y'all doing me like this, but
Right.
I felt like y'all didn't give
It's
me
something to tease you on. That like y'all don't
a
respect each
plate, a
other.
real plate. So I cleaned it, and then I guess the aunt that does the cleaning was like, "Oh, well, I clean them like this." I said, "Listen, it is spot free. This plate is clean. Just put it away." I just did what I was supposed to do because that was something that I was taught growing up. So I always
Mhm.
will do that.
Well,
So
shout
when
out to your
he,
mom
yeah,
because
she
For
my
she
real.
like
did,
that.
Right.
she did a lot. She didn't know how to, do the whole football thing, but she learned just so she can make sure she keeps me away from all
Hmm.
the trouble that
True.
came with that. So she definitely did a lot on her own. She was, and is um superwoman to me. She's one of
Oh,
those, 'cause my dad was there, but my mom's was the gangster. You know what I'm saying?
that part. Okay. Okay,
So,
because I better be hearing my son say this.
yeah,
Right?
this was just stuff that she instilled. We went through a lot together, so it's like even the
Mhm.
small things that I have and earned, I take that in consideration because I've been in probably the lowest of the lows with my mom and without her. So just to be able to do that and still come back and get out on top and to have a conversation to be able to,
You gonna make me cry?
but it's just learning. Like
It's the alcohol.
It's the alcohol.
some
I'm
people
dead.
just have to again learn.
You
Sometimes
have to
it's
care enough to want to learn.
right.
That's
And
what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
and when you're able to
So,
do that, you'll see, like I said, those things: communication, having them uncomfortable conversations, trying to learn, being accountable with yourself and with others, and
hmm
you'll
right.
start to see certain things start to unwind and fall into places they need to fall into.
So, what kind of things do you guys feel like masculine energy women fall into when it comes to dating now?
Hugo says, "Bring Mama another buzz ball."
Yes,
Eva, go
Hugo,
grab
I need
another
another.
one.
You
I
got
need
another
another
there?
one. No, I don't, but I do need another one. Somebody SOS.
All right, what was your question? I got to be.
No, so no. What do you guys think of? What are some things that women run into that are in their masculine energy in the dating scene now?
Um, from my experience, I feel like it's one which is time, right? So I don't feel like you have to be overly aggressive when, you know, oh, you didn't return my call at when I wanted you to do it in 5 minutes, when you know I'm at work or when you know I'm handling a situation where I
That's
cannot.
crazy. Return
And
call.
like, what do you want me to do in that situation? Just give me a minute. Now, if I sat there and didn't contact you for a whole day, of course you have a right to go off the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
But it's things it's like things like
Yeah, no, that's right. He
I
right.
get it that you have, everyone has a little windows, right? But it's those things, the overly aggressive things with conversation.
Mm.
You talk down to me instead of talk to me or don't talk with me.
Yeah.
Um, you don't know how to have a regular conversation. Everything is just either yelling or, you know,
If you yell in the beginning of dating, that's crazy.
it's just like the ones I've experienced, I'll put right. So then you
In the
have that
beginning,
in the
that's
beginning,
crazy.
and that's why I didn't really go nowhere because I'm like, first of all, my mother don't agree.
Right.
So who the fuck you think you talking
That's
to?
wild.
You can't do that.
I don't understand
Just
how
again
why
the things about going out
about
on a
flex.
date, picking a place. I ask first because I'm more what
So you
kind of
asked the
food.
lady instead of planning it?
No, I'm like, what type of food do you like? So when
Mhm.
I do plan it, I don't give you something you'd be like,
Oh, okay, I
I
get
don't
that.
eat this. That's all I need. What type of
Nah,
food do you
see,
like?
so I'm a savage, but there's some things that I won't do. Like even if I didn't like something, I'm not gonna say it to you because in my mind it's like, damn,
Hold
you
on.
your money.
Nah, nah. I
I
don't like
can't.
it and I'm allergic to it. Don't do
Yo,
it.
if
I
I'm
don't
Yeah,
want
allergic
it.
to it, that's
that's
different.
Out of
what
here,
why
bro.
that question
But
is
if I didn't
asked,
like it, I'll be. I was okay. Like because a part of me don't want to hurt your feelings because you went out your way to take me out, plan it, pay for it.
which goes back
You know
to
what I mean?
not having an uncomfortable conversation because
Yeah, I
I
mean,
need to
Mhm.
know these things. Where if I take you somewhere, you don't eat seafood. Now I done took you to a whole seafood restaurant, and you're not gonna eat
Exactly.
a single thing there.
Exactly.
Now I got to be like, all right, well, let's go. And it's like, damn,
I
now the
mean that's
date's
different.
ruined.
They should
So
already know what you like, what you don't like. But I'm saying even if you didn't, because you could like that kind of food in that place, but you might not like the food there
I
at
mean,
that
to
exact
the way
place.
the people prepare it,
So
right? But if once you give me a general sense of things, I can take the lead and do what I have to do
No,
as a man.
I'm being honest all the time.
It's just I rather that, but then it be things like I don't need you to do nothing. If I say I'll pick you up, no, I'll meet you there.
so you feel the way if a
Like
girl would be like, I'll meet you there?
not really. Let me not lie. I'll do because it's like if I'm planning everything and
Let
I'm
me
telling
pick
you I'm
you
gonna
up.
pick you up, let me pick you up. Like you
Are you
don't
guys
have to do that no
talking
more.
or
Is
in
that
a
are we
like
talking about
actual
first
Like
date
relationship?
first
or
dating?
like
Yeah.
dating already?
Right.
I mean, it's like dating already, in my opinion, because
Okay.
that's where most of it came from. In the beginning of just talking, it was more of just the fact that I wasn't contacting that person right. Well, you didn't text me, and within
Oh
10 minutes, I
God.
don't really think you're interested in me, or this the
First
over
of all,
thing,
I
like
ain't begging nobody to text me. I feel like
First
right.
that's
of all,
But
That's
if
that's what I mean.
I
It's
crazy.
text
the
you and you take
aggression.
mad long to respond, I'm not responding.
What's mad long?
what
I'm
is
curious.
hold
I
on,
mean,
What
everybody
Jay.
is
got a time
what's
frame.
because
All right.
everybody got a
Cause,
mad
all right,
long.
because I shouldn't. All right, I shouldn't text you, or let's just say you text me, I respond, right? Then
Uh-huh.
I text back a response to whatever you said, and then you don't say nothing for a whole entire day. I'm good.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
I
Okay.
don't agree with
Yeah.
that.
but
A
I'm
whole
I
day
don't agree with that.
until
If,
late at
you know,
night
here's
when
why I don't.
everybody got their phone in their hands all the time.
Nah, time out, time out, time
And
out, time
let's
out,
just say
time out.
this is not when you working. This is not when you work.
Okay, all right.
so that's
Hold on.
that's
Let me just say something.
speculation
Let's just
because
say that.
For me, because I am the worst texter. I'll see it, get busy. I'm gonna respond in a little bit and could forget. And then I'm like, damn, let me hit him up three
But
days
that means
later
you didn't really like
because
me.
I forgot.
She said
So,
Because
3 days
if I don't really
later.
like you, if I don't really fuck with you, I'm not.
but I
My
don't know you well enough to see if
I
I
will
like you. If I'm
always
just talking to you, my bad. Like,
So your
you can't
interest
be
isn't
mad.
there.
but that's where a
nah.
lot
So
of
my
people go
interest
left.
isn't there initially
That
with
means you don't like
That
anybody.
me.
that's
It
what I'm
takes
saying. That's just
time.
it though. The interest is not there enough for
It's
you to
not.
be like, oh, you know what? Let me make sure. Oh, wait, I responded. Why hasn't he responded? Let me look at my phone. Oh shit, I never texted back.
I gotta respond
Then
to a
that's
I
where
text.
you
you
know.
be a
If
you
I
know,
like you, if I'm into
How
you,
many days
I
has it
make the
been?
time.
but that's when accountability come in, right? So if I didn't text you all day, and let's say I already you say during my text message, I'm like, yeah, I'm working 9 to 5. Okay, so obviously I'm at work, and I text you when I could, but then now work picked up or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8 o'clock at night. That's a difference between I'm like, all right, let me text you back now. I got to home or whatever the case may be. But now if I don't text you to the next morning, then it
Nah,
was
next
You
like
got
morning.
issues. I mean, you gonna meet
then I
my friend
understand that.
Tone.
Right.
Facts.
I understand and I respect it, but there are things that have to be done because you will say, I want a man at work, but then now he's working. And it's like, but you didn't talking to me, and so on and so forth. So it
That
starts to
nah. First
you
of all,
you you
women
get
I
to
shouldn't
need
pick
you
even
to
be
go
apart,
like.
handle your money. I
Women
need you to
shouldn't
go
be like
handle your
that
money
anyways. Like,
because
oh,
I'm gonna handle mine.
why you working? No,
right?
I already know you working. The difference is if you're in a conversation that's flowing, right? I already know that you're busy. You know that I get busy. I text when I can, whatever. Then later on in the day, if there's no response to the next day, that's crazy to me. You not
Yes.
back a
In
response.
that sense, yes, I will agree. And that's in that case, yes. Then there's a problem because it's like, what the
No, you
hell
could
was you
then
Because
doing?
talk to whoever you was talking to. It ain't me.
I think the same thing. Like, I'm not the
I
one
think
that's
that
just
would
gonna be like,
depend on where
why
you
haven't you
are
text
in
me
that.
back?
Okay, that would depend on where you are in this with this person. Like in the beginning, I'm not putting that restrictions because I don't even know you well enough for you to
The
True.
even
first
care,
couple
right?
days is the beginning. I'm saying like once you're building
If I've
where,
already been
where you're
out
like,
with
oh,
Once
you,
you
I kind
pass
of like
that
him, or
on.
like,
2 weeks,
If
oh,
I've already been out with you, I caught a vibe. We cool,
yeah,
then
right?
that makes sense, right?
yeah,
But if it's like in the beginning, you gotta have some patience because you something new. I don't even know.
Used
I'm
the
not
to it.
first
investing a
couple
whole lot.
days, that's the first in the beginning, that's different. But
That's what
now
I'm
that
asking.
you
I'm like,
already
I'm wondering, like,
established, no, when you already established that you got a vibe, you have a connection, you're like, oh, I want to see where this goes. Vice versa, they're telling you the same thing, and
okay,
then is that kind of energy. No, you could keep that energy over there. I don't got time for it. And I think, but this is part of like what's happening now in the dating too, because of women that are more in their masculine, right, and come assertive and come with exactly what they're looking for, exactly what they don't want. Men can't handle it and get intimidated.
hmm.
I believe. Why is she
Uh,
sipping her wine though?
So I
some
want to say something
some
to that if I can.
go ahead.
So because I don't think. All right, it depends on how you're delivering that. Wait, my camera
Not
just bumping.
manly, of course. I'm not
Right?
delivering it,
If
but I
I'm
say
saying,
what I want.
"Yo,
I guess
this is what I want. This is what I need. This, and you with it or not?" Like
nah,
it's
that's
how it's
crazy.
being
Not like
delivered, right?
Sound like
So
we're robbery right now. Hey, come on. We call each
like
other.
nah.
What?
you with
I
it or
don't
not?
go so be savage
Are
to a
we
guy.
together or not? Like that's
I just I'm very upfront. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. And if you're not being able to do that for me, just let me know. I'm good.
but it depends on where you're introducing that because if you saying that in the very beginning, like first couple conversations, like that's a little bit off-putting. It's like I don't even know if I like you yet. I just saw a picture. That was
Your
it.
your time frame of liking somebody is different than
My
ours.
time frame is different because it takes more than just looks for me to like somebody. But I'm just saying is like I'm not gonna demand certain things when I haven't established whether or not there's a like there.
No,
But
I
you
wouldn't
just
say
seem
in a
interesting.
demanding way. I'm saying as like we're adults. We've had a couple conversations already. I know, or I can tell that I like you. You've already established that you like me. Okay, and this is what I'm looking for. This is what I don't want. Do you feel like you are able to then meet what I am looking for? If not, you could just tell me that, and I keep it moving. That's it.
Okay.
So
I
if
don't
You know
think
what
I have like
I
a
mean? Is that-
stage. I just think more of like overall,
That's
like
masculine
let's
as
just say
hell.
we just started talking or we're 5 months in. I
that's the
understand
part
you
of
have a
me. This,
job. I have a job. We all three really know that with our job, I can't be on my phone.
yeah, it gets busy. It
I
gets busy.
can't,
Hmm.
regardless. And so it's either on my breaks, it's either on my lunch, or it's after work. And if you got an issue with that, then you can go ahead and speak about it because we can kind of work around it if you like. If not, then I'm sorry, but it's just something that I can't do.
Mhm.
But let's say if we're on a weekend and we've already been like, talking or whatever, we all got the same 24 hours.
Mhm.
That's all
Exactly.
I gotta say.
Exactly.
I mean, and it goes
So
back to what you said. With the conversation in general, everybody has a talking point of how that time frame goes. So it's always going to be different, right?
Hmm.
A little bit changing this up a tiny bit. Someone can say you cheated, right? Taking the phone number on a piece of paper and taking that and going whatever. That's cheating, and it's a form of cheating. So some people try to say it's not until you actually do the act. So when you have these type of things, people always try to have a different terminology on what that same thing means. So when you have that, oh, we talking or we dating, some people put the same thing together, and then you have these miscommunications.
Right. There has to be
Communication,
clear. I think the problem is a lot of people don't date with intent. And when you're
mhm.
dating with intent, there's a conversation that has to happen,
correct?
and
Has
that's
to.
clear expectations, especially after a certain age. Like it's we're not all 22, right? And they're like, look, we're not saying that you got to be perfect, but if you here for a ride, then let's work towards that. If not, don't waste my time.
Let's see if you
Uh,
the height requirement.
Heavy.
wow. Um, and Evo asks,
Huh?
how soon in do you have that conversation to set those expectations?
I mean, for me, I
So
would say a couple of weeks because after a couple like 2 weeks of conversation, you should be able to start filling out what really you really want to even open that door to that person. Like, listen, this is what I'm trying to get to. So, are you trying to get to that too, or are you just trying to look for something
Right.
else? Because then that's when you start detailing your intent. That's when you
Mhm.
give
I mean,
someone your syllabus to your unit to your university, right? So if I give you my syllabus, this is what my requirements and my course is, right?
I'm
So
not that detailed, but
For
but
me,
I'm
so
just
it's
saying
second date.
it's just
Second date
me giving
conversation.
you right. It's just me saying to you like this is what's going on in my life. This is what I'm looking at. So either you want to take this course or you don't. So that remember when they give you 2 weeks to before you get to drop the course in the actual college setting. So when you apply it like that, it's like, all right, listen, we spoke for this long. This is my syllabus. Do you still want to
You in or you're out.
right?
Right.
Are you going to take
so
this class or you're not? So then that's when you
yeah,
bring it down and you give
I
it to
get
them.
How
that.
soon in are you having that
So
conversation?
for me, right? If I'm talking to you frequently, that means I'm showing interest because I
Right.
don't talk to anybody. I did just leave everybody. Don't even
Facts.
listen. And but if there is some interest for me and I'm talking to you frequently, now it's on a daily basis, I'm bringing it up probably after a week. Because if I feel like there's something that I like about you, I don't want it to get far to where now I like you, and it's not going to go anywhere. I
Mm.
need you to know that this is my I'm this age. This is what I'm looking for. I don't have time to waste. And once you show me certain things that I do not like, I am not moving forward. And sometimes, yes, I can come off really forward, but that's because of all the shit that I already
But
been
how do
through.
you know? So okay, let's say you set these expectations, right?
Yes.
And this person claims that they all with it. How do you know this is even someone that you actually like after a couple weeks? What if they like completely psycho or you start to see true colors or red flags? Now you set a certain expectation that it isn't realistic and now you invested in something that's a waste of your time.
I mean,
That
that is a
there's no
possibility.
way that that
It is
conversation
a possibility.
is
And then that's why
yeah,
my
it's
favorite
a
couple is
large
broke. That's the problem.
because there's
That's
some
why
crazy
I
ass
feel that it
motherfuckers
is
out here.
important to have those
But it's
stages.
more of like,
That
all right, this is what
talking.
I'm looking for. You can't give it to me, just say that. Somebody will. Trust me. Like there's always somebody trying to message me or looking and but once I come off that way and they already know like, oh, and it's not that I need a man like we were saying before. I don't. At this point though, I would want a relationship, yes. Not that I need one. I take care of myself. But
Right.
But those are basic needs.
it is
Taking care of yourself is a basic need.
it is
And
basic.
this is where I was gonna ask this earlier too, in maybe the fact that, different eras, the mentality. Like I feel like our generation is maybe more on the balance side where we can kind of do both, you know. But I was talking to somebody who is a lot older and was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of paying the bills. I'm tired of like doing everything by myself. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing that.
I
And I'm
get
like,
it.
but that's a basic need
Oh,
in life. Like that's just what you do. You pay your rent. You pay your bills. You pay your food. You pay. Like that's just a fact of
it'd be
life.
nice now.
And she was like, you know what? She's like, that's right. She's like, but that's not my life.
Mm,
I was like, damn, I want to be you.
I
Dating
want to be
someone.
you.
She's still
I
dating
want to be you.
or she's not dating someone when she made that statement.
She's older.
So
Older
She's a
and
widow.
single? Oh, a widow. Oh.
uh,
I'm going on almost 5 years single now,
She
guys.
said that's not my
Um,
life though.
so it's like what's
What
happening
what is
here,
she? I missed it.
huh?
No, I missed the
that that
statement. I'm sorry.
that type of
Oh, she was talking about the widow. That's
Hmm.
it. Those are like the basic needs, right? She's saying she's tired of paying bills, working, and all that stuff. And Eva was like, "Well, that's the
The
basic needs.
70s.
That's what you gotta do."
I mean it is a
And she said, "Well,
basic
that's not my life."
it's a basic need, but some get it twisted to where it's like you're never
Sorry.
gonna not do it. You're always gonna have to do it. It's just nice to not have to do it alone.
Right.
More of what she should lean towards, because when people say this, like, "Oh, so you just want me to be here, so I just do all of this for you," and then people get it misconstrued when it's said that way. Not so much that I need you to do it for me, but
Hmm.
with me as a teammate or a partner, instead of me just going through life and doing it, and you just looking at me like, "Oh, that's what you have to do every day? Oh, that sucks." But you have time for me today too. Like you don't run into that situation. It's
That's
But why
crazy.
didn't you respond?
Nah. If that shit, yo, I would drop you like a bag of shit. Like it's
but
Facts.
it
Facts.
happens is what I'm saying. It happens. So
yo.
it's more on one of them things. Like I'm not trying to do this forever by myself.
But
I
do you
do have
feel like men know how to handle women that are in the masculine energy already? And would they
No,
know how to level them out to show more of their feminine energy?
most men don't.
mature men.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There's a difference. Just like when you mentioned earlier
Mm-hmm.
when she said
Okay.
boys, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
boys and there's men. But when you see a man, he's like, oh yeah, he's a man. And you could be a man due to puberty. You give you a boy up until a certain amount of time, and then they tell you you're a man after that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much that the man, it's more or less the mature man. Because if you, I like to say this all the time, people are no good unless they want the same things you want. Point blank, period. Take it how you
Yeah.
want to, but it's people are no good unless they want the same things you want. So if you're on a dating app and you're looking for fun, right?
We don't do
Then,
dating apps anymore over here, but
but I'm just saying, if you're on a dating app and you're looking for fun, then you can't be in in that app if you're one to look for something real, something with a purpose.
yeah.
And that's what happens. A lot of people be on different apps with different things looking for the opposite. So this app is for you to do one type of thing and you're on there, but you're looking for the opposite, right? So same thing in life. Don't entertain something that's not going to be on the same playing field as you are. And that's
Right.
how you weed out the bullshit from
I'll
people.
be right back.
You know what I'm saying? So when you go through these messages from wherever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or someone even approaches you outside, you're not gonna give that person your syllabus outside. But you also wanna be like, listen, if your intent is not to be at this level soon, right? Then I don't think it's important that we continue this conversation. Because some people don't even understand
Exactly.
a
The,
simple
pro-
question like, what is your
the,
5 year plan? And no one asks questions like that.
I've
So
no
recently,
now,
one.
no,
so
honestly,
but
I've
some
recently
people
been
would just
asked.
be like, "Huh? Like, of
Yeah.
what? Oh, I'm gonna be over here doing this." That wasn't what I meant. So, which brings me back to the mature man. He may have a goal for 2 years, 3 years, and then he has a 5 year. So, when you have that and you can speak that conversation with a person, you'll see the difference between that mature man and someone who just says he's a man,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you differentiate.
Right.
So a mature man wouldn't have a problem with you, a female being in a masculine stage. He would just show you a way to where it should be, projected. And sometimes you can put that switch to go back to that feminine side. He's not going to
Hmm.
tell you, don't do this. He's going to explain to you. It's like almost something happens in public. You don't correct your woman in public and put her and make her look bad, or your man.
Hmm.
You take that home. But listen, when this
Right.
happens,
That would be
let
there.
me show you how to handle it in that type of situation.
Yeah.
And then you'll see that your arguments won't even be arguments anymore because you were able to learn how to separate what should be spoke out in public and what shouldn't be. Again,
Right.
mature man will teach you and you will learn that from both of
I
what.
think what's also important is for women to allow a man to have be present in some of his feminine energy and being able to open up to you. If this is your partner, it should be okay for him to talk about his feelings, knowing that he doesn't
Right.
have an outlet anywhere else.
Yeah.
Knowing that they men also go through their own pressures, their own
Right.
expectations, and you should be comfortable enough to be able to come to your partner to do it. You want him to be that person for you, but you can't accept him to be that person with you.
Mhm.
You know,
Let me be Big
it's
Spoon.
I don't need to be big spoon, but let me
I
hold
could
you.
be big
I'll
spoon.
hold you too.
I'll Big
I don't
Spoon
know.
you.
I'm too little. I'm too little. I don't want to be big spoon. It's awkward.
That's
But
the funny part.
I'll hug you back. I don't mind a man crying. I mean, I don't want to cry, baby, but I get emotional. I can't. Men don't normally cry. Men that I know anyway. And when I see them cry, I get emotional with you because I know it took a lot for you to be able to open up and give me that.
Mhm.
And I can appreciate that more, that you're vulnerable enough to give me that. You know, and being open and being that person that they're comfortable enough to talk to. I think
Right.
that's one of the things that if you can be that person for real and being open to how to be able to welcome that part of him, you'd get a different man out of him.
Right.
You will definitely get a different man out of him, and when he's able to open up without being judged, because he's judged every day, all day long.
Mhm.
Right.
So when he can come home or come to his significant other and feel like, you know what, I can let all this out, and I know of all places, I won't get judged here. I can,
Or she won't throw it against you or like
and that's one of the biggest fears in men, to show that side, and then later on, for whatever reason, something don't work, and it's like, but that's why. That's when. Remember, you just came over and you just sat on the floor and cried like a little man. What did you bring that up for? That was something I opened up to you. You didn't have to throw that back because things aren't working, or even just in the argument. Let's say we still work, but in the argument you store it. That's ammo for when you say something I don't want to hear you say, or when you do something I didn't want you to do. You don't want to store these things as ammo to attack your significant other. You just want to be able to have a conversation, find a way to figure it out, to fix it, and move forward instead of just finding ways to continue to destroy it. Because a lot of times relationships is also self destructing relationships. So you do have outside help, but the fact that you can't have a conversation and be mature about it is going to always tear you down from the inside. So the foundation is good to have, but you gotta have those conversations. You gotta be able to have that
right,
conversation, and that man
Right.
able to come over to you and open up, because you can't say you want a man and then when he, and oh, now you know what, I want you to also be able to come to me and express yourself.
right.
And then
Ego said
when
for
I
a lot of
do,
men,
it's like,
opening up and being vulnerable can go against a lifetime of man up or don't cry over that.
Mhm.
So
absolutely, that is yeah,
Mhm.
that is that.
it, it's
Tough.
unfortunate because I'm not saying that. I think the problem is how we raise our boys is be a man, man up, but we're not showing them how to be a proper man,
Right.
right? Being a man doesn't mean hide your emotions. Being a man meaning provide. Being a man means being a protector. Not being able to show emotion is a problem, and that's we're all human. Everyone has emotions, and
Right.
why are we so turned off by that?
Right.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do guys manipulate the crying? And I mean this by this because you guys got me thinking about this one situation where I was dating this guy at the time, and I had gotten mad for some reason, but it wasn't anything like crazy. Like I just got upset. And he like FaceTimed me and he was like crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? I was like, I was just telling you how I feel about it. And he was like, but that's the same thing, my ex used to do it, this and this and that. He's like, I don't want to lose you. And I'm like, I just told you what I felt. Like, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying, like, I just told you how I did not like that. And he was just like crying, crying until like I was like, okay, like, forget it. Like, it's fine. He stopped. And I was like, that threw me off. I'll be honest.
You just mid
Because
stop.
one thing is
That sounds
crying
fake.
and like a
What?
genuine cry.
All right.
No,
Another
that
thing
sounds
is
like
him kind of meaning it.
I'm gonna
that sounds
answer.
like a narcissistic action.
Okay. I was
I'm,
like,
I'm
Facts.
gonna give you two answers that
okay.
it sounds like to me. One is kind of like the narcissistic thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first one. But in all honesty, I feel like it also could be a trigger that he hasn't fully handled himself. So
Yes.
you might have pushed that button that you don't have no idea about. Like I pushed,
Right.
I have
Yeah,
nothing. I don't know
that's a
nothing about it.
possibility.
It's the mid
But
stop for me though.
it's that part where it's like, I his traumas, he still hasn't dealt with them.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
he's just like, well, since I'm still traumatized, I'm just gonna run with this. This is what I do,
Right.
right? And then you have the other side where it's a narcissistic thing, to where it's like, all right, if I can do this, and I'll just
Man.
Yeah, he didn't like my response.
right. So that's it's kind of like you get like two answers for that question.
Right.
And I would want to err on the side of caution and be like, all right, maybe it was just a trigger that he just hasn't fully healed from, or took, or even accepted.
Mm.
It could be
And
something.
it could have been either way, but the thing is, like, also at that point in my life, like, I had already gone through the bullshit.
Right.
So, like, I was seeing things as they were.
Pattern.
And so he wasn't there yet. So we weren't even matching at that point.
Right. And then
So it
the
ended.
stopping
So
the crying thing throws me off too.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but it was like, wait,
yeah, I was like,
stop crying. Like,
keep crying.
So he would say, being a man means do your lady's dishes or pick her up and set her on the couch and finish putting up the cabinets.
I
Wild
agree.
Deuces says some men definitely do, but I agree with Val. It's narcissistic. It depends on the
Yeah.
man. Absolutely,
Yeah.
because
which gave those two
it's
Nope.
a way to keep
Stop it
you
though.
there, to make you feel bad, like, and then you automatically, you know what? Never mind, never mind, never mind.
But
And
baby,
then
I was
it's
in my
getting what I
masculine
want.
at the time, so I really gave two shits.
Okay.
I and I'm gonna be saying this is why I'm saying my masculine didn't work for me, because when I'm masculine is, why are you fucking crying?
That part.
Yeah.
Like it was that because it was not something serious. So I was looking at him, like, we were on FaceTime, and I'm like, why are you crying?
That's a see. Yeah, no, that
It's
doesn't.
touchy, but I would think I would probably lean. It could
You
be a
gotta go with
mixture
your
of
gut. If
right.
you can
It
feel if
could
it's
be a
genuine
mixture.
or not.
If
Yeah.
it might be a mix, he might really have something
Then
wrong.
I'm gonna need you to go talk to someone,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
because it ain't me.
Fully accepted that and dealt with that. So you run that, and it's like, okay, well, maybe if I cry, I get some type of sympathy, right?
Girl. See, I, I,
Doing too
I,
much.
yeah, no. If I got, if it, see, this is a double-edged sword, right? I want them to be
Hmm.
open enough to be emotional, but I don't want you to be a crier all the time, because then it's not real,
Or use it to your
right?
advantage.
Like there's a balance. Like I still want you to be strong. I still want you to, but I understand there's pressures on your plate that sometimes you need to let it go. And I want you to be able to be comfortable enough to come to me about it, because I'm never going to
Hmm.
do you wrong in that sense, right? However, there's a balance. Like you better not be crying over some spilt milk kind of shit. Like what? Like it got to be some validity behind it.
Right.
I think
Wild
most of
Deuces, hey Anastasia, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't get it.
What's the question?
Sorry, we're waiting for the question, Wild Deuces. Let me know when we'll put it up when you put it up.
Is this a new follower? Okay.
Hey, let's put that question.
I don't know.
Um, I think it's difficult now for women. I would say in their 30s that are masculine and in their feminine energy in dating. So,
Sorry.
Balance, balance.
it comes down to balance, but I think it's hard for some women from what we're already used to. Like Eva was saying earlier, you're just used to so much in a certain way that once you do open up a little bit and been hurt, still it's more of like, all right, I'm good.
Right.
Now I'm
You
just gonna
start to
stay here.
see, because then some start to see patterns that
Yes.
and when you start to see a pattern, it's not like it's not so much like, oh, I just waited for a red flag. It's just that once I see something that repeats itself,
Mhm.
that I already know,
Makes
I'd
you
rather
shit.
not continue to go down that path just
Yeah.
because I know what it is. You may look at it a different way, but for me, it's a pattern. And
Exactly.
once I start seeing patterns, I got to step back.
And I
let
think
you
that's
show
what
me
we
something
all have in
different.
common. I mean, now not Eva, but so quick
Hold on,
that
Eva.
Hey,
Wait,
hey,
real
hey,
quick,
hey, hey.
Anna.
what?
He said, "You looking good? What's good with you? You single?" He's shooting his shot. He's shooting his shot.
My boy,
Here we
he
go.
said, I'm a go for it.
So Hugo says, so do
Uh,
you think that masculine and feminine energies need to match each other between the two people?
Ooh.
That's a good question, Hugo. But I don't know which one we want to address first.
We'll be like, well,
um,
The
I only want to
camera's
see
going
Hugo's
wild
question.
right
The
now.
other
Okay.
question is not for us at all. That's for
That's Anna. I don't know if you want to address that now. We'll move
I
on.
appreciate that. No, I can address it. I am single, but I am currently talking to somebody. So
Okay. Awesome.
surprisingly, all their faces. Yeah.
I just saw the ball not go in the hoop.
He said, I sure am. He's shooting his shot.
Oh my god.
So Hugo's statement, do you think masculine and feminine energies need to match each other between the two people?
I think that's part of the problem now. They're trying to figure like people are trying to figure that out. Should we match it or should we just be more understanding to that? Because if the guy's like trying to be masculine, the girl's trying to be masculine, then it's like, okay, yeah, both just gonna keep colliding. Then if you're
Hmm.
both being feminine, you're both gonna be like, all right, one of us gotta stop crying. There should be a balance where y'all should be more of a yin and yang type of situation
Yes.
than more of
You got to
a
understand each
match.
other
Right. You
to
you
Right.
when
A balance.
yeah
right.
to when one needs the other.
Is the energy match gender to gender or gender to opposite? I think it could be either or. It
Yeah,
depends.
either or for sure.
Yeah.
I would have to say
Um,
either or.
I don't know.
yeah,
Like,
And
either
I
or.
feel like when it comes to matching energies, I feel like a lot of the guys have tried to match my energy in a sense by just being petty. Me, I don't think I like try to match their energy, but just kind of like how he was saying, right? To just show support, just be there in a sense. But I feel like right now where I'm at, I'm looking more of like I don't want my energy. I want something more because I want to look up to somebody. I want to say, okay, you know what? I can do me. I can be a feminine. They got it. And I'm going to be here for support because at the end of the day, it just goes back to, I guess, the same upbringing that I had, which was the man is the head of the house, but you're the neck.
Mm-hmm.
The head can't do anything without the neck.
Mm,
Facts.
So
That's
that's what I want.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
support.
I mean, I think we all would want that. Someone to help our feminine energy come out more. Um, and take the lead. So
But it's hard for a woman to allow a man to lead, especially when we've been in a masculine.
yeah,
right.
I think you're kind of correct.
Right.
But then that's just
Anything
showing
is
if
possible. So
he would have to want to do the work, and you would
yeah.
have to want to allow him to do
Allow him,
it up
yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
the
that's
biggest thing.
where we also, in both sides of the field, that we lose,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's like, all right, I'll throw myself in there. Me opening up or expressing self, that's a tough thing for me to do. It's not just because I'm a man, but it's really been a tough thing for a lot of things I've been going through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll meet someone and like, well, why you don't say much or why you don't tell me much? I tell you this, but you don't tell me much of that. It's still me trying to see if I can give you that part of me and to see if you really to put the work in to receive that part of me. So once you just don't get the response you want, you stop. So that just showed me off rip that I didn't have to waste my time giving you that part of me because you was gonna
Mm,
fire up anyway, as you already are. So when I try to learn from that type of approach, maybe it's my approach of how I'm being. I'll try a different way. And then sometimes then I'm the one like, well, listen, you don't really tell me much about nothing. Like I don't even know if you like me or you just bored. Like what the hell's going on? So you still gotta put the work in. So then a lot of times people just be like, well, I didn't like that, so I don't want to do nothing. Right? And then you got somebody that be like, all right, well, cool. Let's see where this go. Let's find other ways to communicate and see what else can figure out. That may take a walk somewhere, a sip of tea or coffee or whatever it is. It's not always going to this fancy this and that and the third just to actually spend time with the person and learn them. How you gonna learn when you go to the movie theater if you're on your first date, right? We're just gonna sit here and dig in the
Right.
big ass screen. Not ideal for a first date. You
You missed
want to
our
be
bad
able
first
to
date episode.
Yes,
right.
you but to be able to say, all right, let's go sit somewhere where we can actually have a conversation
Talk.
and actually talk. But then you also got to understand some people don't know how to talk and have an actual conversation.
Yeah.
What
So
Hugo said?
when we grow,
Hugo's saying he totally gets what he's saying. For me, it's am I ready to reveal that part of me, this other person, to this other person?
right,
So he's agreeing with you.
yeah, because that's what it holds you up a little bit. And then
Mhm.
I always said to me like, I'm gonna play ball, I'm gonna go pro, I'm gonna take care of moms, I'm not gonna do this and that and the third, right? I have a dream deferred that changed, but at the same time, I was given all the options and blessings to take care of certain things, being a coach, being a mentor.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of times for me to open up, I was just like, I'm not gonna do these things. I just won't do them. And then I'll meet someone that makes conversating with them easy, makes it
Hmm.
flow. Like I'm legit having a conversation without pausing or without that awkward silence and that just stare off to wherever and you're actually
That's
still
weird.
having the flow. So when you
Yeah.
continue to flow a conversation and have and hold my attention, it's like, damn, I didn't want to, I'm always saying I'm not going to do these things, but you make it so easy for me to do it. That's something you want to pursue and work on. But some people don't open that doorway. So now you're stuck, still knocking, like, still trying to get to know you, man. Let that side out. It's not as
Right.
easy, for both sides, but
Yeah. Give us
yeah,
something.
right. It's a little tough.
True. Cool.
Well,
Cool.
I
So in
really
a sense,
appreciate
the
you.
person lets you be vulnerable.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And
The
with
Do
that,
guys like to be spoiled? And what does that
oh,
mean from
that's a
a
good
guy's
question because I
perspective?
just had this conversation with somebody 2 days ago. And
wait, Hugo. Before we answer the conversation, where you don't feel like you don't have to measure your words to watch what you say is phenomenal.
Yes.
That
yeah,
part.
yeah,
Because that
Yeah.
should just be your friend, your best friend, and you're having a regular conversation. You guys are just together in it.
exactly.
It
That's
shouldn't be that hard. It should
It
not be that
shouldn't.
hard.
It should come effortlessly. If it's ever
And when it does,
like
he ain't the
okay,
one.
there's something here.
The thing is, a conversation with me is effortless all the time. I mean,
Okay. Like, hello.
but that counts when it goes like that. You can sit there and have this whole wall up, like I'm not doing none of these things enlisted. I'm just not gonna do it. But that one person comes along and you're having a conversation. You're like, all the shit that you just put up just went away. You don't even notice it
Hmm.
because that person, just with their personality, just with their conversation and words, change it around for you.
What he
sure,
got?
Riley, effortless when you don't text back. Yeah, okay. Well, texting is not conversation. Conversation is having a phone call, doing FaceTime, face to
In
face. I
person.
respond better when we're on an actual date. Like, don't expect me to be constantly texting for a week straight and you don't make an effort to want to meet or
That's
to want
true.
to spend time together or have a conversation on the phone. I think texting is something that people resort to as communication, and it's not the best form of communication for me. I can do conversations.
Hmm.
That is
Yeah.
what's the effortless part and not text.
Nah, I agree with that because I remember I had a whole argument through text message, and this person I was arguing with feels that text messaging is their conversation, and I'm like,
Nah,
I've
that's
realized that
crazy.
you cannot communicate with me because the only way you can communicate is when you text. When you are stuck face to face with the person, now you get to see raw emotion and raw feeling, right? So
Hmm.
text messaging, you can
Mm.
say hi and it be hi. That person may be hi, and that's not how I meant it. So text
Right.
message doesn't have any emotion until you apply one. And as you're reading it, if you have a guilty conscience, oh, I pissed her off or I pissed him off. So now you're reading that
Look
text
at
message.
Eva laughing. She's like, "Yup."
No,
It's
it's
your
because
own
I'm
emotion.
thinking like that hi, because text does get misconstrued. So I'm thinking like that hi, and the girl being like hi.
Right. Because it's just how they perceived it to be.
Right.
Now,
Hmm.
to go to the question about being, you said, spoiled.
Oh
Hmm.
yes, I had a literally one of our coworkers going back and forth with me because of I asked the question of like, oh, I did this gesture and I did this gesture because sometimes I like to spoil the person I'm with. I got a whole lecture. I'm like, what? Like,
Because you're playing yourself. You're doing too much.
no, what he was saying is like men don't want to feel like I forget the word, but you could explain because you a guy. But I'm like, but what do you
Men
mean?
don't want to feel like the bitch in the relationship.
Basically, but I'm like, but
Like
how?
they. What do you mean
Um,
how?
But
It's
how is that
cute, but chill.
being like a bitch?
because
Nah,
they're
bro.
probably looking at you know the video that came out when the girl had the card, the guy had the card, and she had to pick something, right? Then all of a sudden they switched that same gesture around. Now the guy is like standing there, and she's like, "Pick a card, the top of the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
go out to eat." So some are like, "Oh, that was nice of her," and the dudes is like, "Man, that nigga soft, man."
Right.
But that goes back to allowing the man to have his feminine side. Personally,
I got it, Hugo.
I don't. I'm not gonna say I'm against it or for it because that's not something that has happened. I've been the spoiler. I spoil you. That's just me. That's
Okay.
whatever my nature or whatever the case may be. If you do nice gestures for me, I do appreciate them. I'm not gonna tell you I don't.
Right. But
Um,
there's a difference between nice gestures to spoiling them. You
Spoiling.
they
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to do too much because then they feel
yeah,
like what is that?
I mean, yeah,
That's
there's a balance. You
right.
can't.
You gotta
Yeah.
balance it, but I meant like I don't really think that men have experience being spoiled.
So they don't know how to take it in.
So they don't really know how to accept something that they
Mm.
really
hmm
experience. So when you get a negative reaction, it's not like, yo, why you doing that? Get that? I'm not soft. They don't know how to accept something that they've never been introduced to ever in their life, or they have
Right.
never seen because some have been the ones that do the spoiling and never had something reciprocated back to them. So they're
That
more
makes
like,
sense.
huh? Like you do that? Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's what throws them off. Like if I had someone like you smoke cigars. Here's a new pack of cigars. Here's your drink. Here's your slippers and your game, and here you go. And you're doing this every day. I'm like, wait a minute, what you do?
What I do?
Mm.
what is
Right.
what are you setting me up for? Like, what's going on? Like, what? Whoa! I don't know. Understand this. Never mind. Not realizing that was just
Mm,
you trying to show that you can
It's
spoil me and continuously do it.
mm.
Now,
yeah.
if you did it once and it's like, all right, I just wanted to surprise you with doing a little something, it's kind of like, all right, that was nice,
Cool.
like,
Thank you. Now
cool.
Hugo says, is someone spoiling me because they want to, or if they have ulterior motive, or are they trying to get in my pants? What I don't remember it happened to me, but I suspect it would likely work.
Hugo,
Yeah,
what
I'm
if it's
sure
just
it
a nice
will.
gesture?
No, for I want to go real quick. And what was the conversation on the ones who want a masculine woman and why?
Oh, yeah. So I watched a couple guys on TikTok and then some other guys that I spoke with, and it was more of like they like the woman in their masculine due to like if they're not around, they know that they can take care of themselves and they're good. They know that masculine, I mean, women that in their masculine energy tend not to always be done up in full makeup all the time or having like half naked clothes on or posting their self on social media for that attention compared to women that are really in their real feminine, come off more prissy and post themselves more looking for that validation from other men on social media that they're never even going to see. And so it's like those little things that they appreciate a woman in their masculine for because they know like they're just solid within themselves and
I
won't
don't
step
think
out.
that's true.
But wouldn't that be more of how mature she is and how she's carrying herself more
I was
than
about to
you?
say that.
I mean, that's part of
Yeah.
it too.
I'm only saying that
But I can
because of
agree
those.
to a point because since I'm and probably Val can confirm with that too is we're more in the masculine, so I'm not putting half naked pictures up. I'm not always done up. I'm like
hmm
even today, I'm in baggy pants and a sweater. Like I don't always need to be completely
Right, but
makeup and dress, and
I just don't
I'm
think
good.
that
Um,
that means that you're masculine
hmm
no, the
because you
guys that were saying is like women in their masculine energy. That's the things that they like about them.
right. No, I get that part, but
I
that's
agree,
Right.
Hugo.
also like saying,
Hugo's
you know,
real
more of
quick.
that
I'm sorry.
person.
Hugo says, "It sounds like that's confusing masculine energy with being comfortable with herself and how she wants to be without the need of external validation."
I mean that part
Yeah,
too.
because that's
Is
what
what I
you
was gonna
don't.
say. Because with
Mhm.
me, I feel like I'm in my most feminine right now. But like, I honestly think this is the least that I've posted of myself.
Mm.
Right.
True.
But
I mean,
that's what I mean. So
it
it's
just
not.
varies.
It varies, but
Yeah.
it's just more of, you want to be, if we're gonna say masculine, masculine, and feminine, feminine. But I don't think that you posting half naked picture or a naked picture is
Mhm.
masculine
Naked
or
picture is
feminine.
crazy.
I mean,
Well,
it is because I see some things like even on Twitter, I'm like, this shit just turned into a porn site for whatever reason I don't understand. Um,
I didn't know
but
that either.
it has now the X. I was like, y'all
I
really
was
took the
like,
X too
wow.
far. But
yeah.
these are the things that I feel like if that female is comfortable in her own skin, she doesn't have to show anything, right?
Mm.
Right.
Social media. I prefer you to leave something to the imagination, and that's not going to make me
What if
think
she had
that
an
you're more.
OnlyFans?
That's what she chooses to do with herself.
So you'd be okay dating a girl
You'd
with?
be okay.
I probably wouldn't be,
Oh.
honestly. Reason being is because now there's nothing left for me to see that I didn't just sign up to see. Like I can legit see.
But you have to sign up to see it. You can't watch
Correct.
it for free.
You're right, but then they still have that free preview and all. My point is, you're showing others things that should be for me, right? So if we're having fun, go
What
ahead.
if it's just the OnlyFans for feet?
Yeah.
I mean, then that's just feet. I mean, that's a fetish. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh,
But at the
you out
end of
here
the
showing my
day,
toes
it's
off to somebody,
still both ways of an income.
But that's what I'm saying. It comes up
right?
with like, what
But
if that's her? She just got the hustle mentality, any way to make
you
money.
can hustle, right? Many different ways. Selling yourself is not a hustle that I want for someone that I want to be in a relationship with in the
So you
future.
never dated a stripper?
No, I haven't.
Would you?
No, because I feel
So
that.
so the
And if
thing is,
somebody's
but
gonna
what I think women don't realize is a lot of men, they'll play with it, but they not trying to be with it.
Take it home.
right.
Yeah.
That will be the right. The best way to put it was that like you with the stripper. Yeah, I did stuff with her, but I ain't with her. Like oh okay, but for the man to come out and be like yeah that's my girl, that's not gonna happen. And if it do, I mean hey that worked for y'all, but I personally as a man I'm not dating no stripper. I
Eva,
only
would
dance.
you date a stripper, Eva, or a Chippendale?
I'm too jealous for that. I'm too like
That's
Yeah.
I'm
the
not a
part that would
jealous
come into
person,
play.
I guess, in a sense, but it's like if the guy was like purposely I mean, because that would be their job. They have to grind their dicks in their face and shit like that. I went to because my friends took me to a guy strip club one time. I was grossed out.
I don't
It's
like that.
disgusting.
I enjoyed the girls
And
strip club more than the guys.
kind of
Yeah.
girl strip club.
The guy strip club, I was like, ah! I was like, don't touch
It's
me. I was like, no, get that sweaty thing away from me. I was like, no. And then with the girls, I was like, no, that's
All right,
mad talent. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. I
It
don't
was
you
like that.
know,
total
I'm not a
opposite.
fan.
Not a
I
fan.
don't.
Mm-mm.
I watched
It's
some.
Sorry,
too
guys.
vulgar.
I watched a guy be his girl security as a stripper. I said that doesn't. You gotta be on a different playing field to let
Yeah.
somebody be just touching
Mm.
all over your woman like that and shower or no shower. That's just a lot. Then you're in the private room and who knows what the hell's going on.
Should go down in the private
You
room.
understand what I'm saying? It goes.
Ew.
What he said?
He said, "LOL, sweaty thing. I probably don't need to tell you, but that wasn't sweat."
Dead.
Yo, yo,
I don't want to know.
On that note,
I don't want to know.
that's crazy.
thank you for coming out. Appreciate it.
Not
Yes,
It's about to
anytime.
be
Yes,
that
it was
time.
fun.
Good conversation.
yes.
Thank you,
You're
Hugo,
welcome back.
Got a lot more. Just tell me when. I got a lot more.
for the
I tell you
comments.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not sure whoever else commented. I don't know who they are. But appreciate the comments. Um, happy Saturday. Look out for next week. I'm not sure what the topic is yet, but if you're going
Turn
out,
is it to pick?
it works.
Yours.
Oh, it's fuck. Okay.
Put it on, we'll spin it
Yeah.
and just go.
Yeah.
Topic.
We'll always come out with something good.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
You
Wait,
going out
it's Christmas weekend.
technically?
Oh yeah, are we skipping next week?
I mean, last year
Yeah,
we was on it on Christmas.
yeah.
Hugo's asking for your name. He said it was awesome getting your perspective.
Yes. Oh.
Mine, they will.
Yes. Jay
D A
will.
E, yeah, DAEWILL.
Awesome. Do you have any like social media platforms? Anything that you want
Yeah,
to promote?
it's They Will Designs. I'm a graphic designer on there. Did I?
Ooh,
Oh, and They Will
Nice.
32 is my personal page. So follow up.
Oh, you got to share that with us. So I can put it on the comments on the post on the YouTube video, please. In
got
the
Yes.
topics. Yes.
In the top page.
yeah, got you.
Mhm.
Nah, I'm on. I'm not. If even
Next week is December 23rd, by the way. Thanks, Hugo.
Okay, Hugo. I'm
yeah, I'm
sorry.
not doing anything.
I'm sorry. Hugo
Uh,
said, "Don't be trying to skip me out. We missed 2 weekends."
yeah,
I
no.
have right. I have family come flying in next weekend.
Yeah. I mean, Val, if you
So
can. I mean, Eva, if you can. If not,
I can. Yeah, we can do it.
yeah, figure it out. Last
okay.
year's was good. Let's make it another good one. But thank you for everybody tuning in. Share it. Afterwards, it goes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Let us know if there's anything in particular you would like us to talk about. We're more than open to. And hope everyone has a great night. My name is Anastasia.
My name is Eva Diva.
And I'm largely Valerie Mack, as always. Thank you, Daywell, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Um, thank you, thank you. You guys have a great night. And if I don't see y'all, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. I feel like I've been saying that at work all month.
Bye,
Bye.
Hugo.
Good to
You too.
talk to
Have
you.
a
Say
lovely
that.
weekend,
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
Everybody be safe.
All right, let me